Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mecha Pew Pew. I am your host, Jonathan, and we have here my co-host, Ariel. How are you, Ariel?
Good. How's it going, guys? And welcome to another episode of Mecha Pew Pew. Very excited to be here with these guys. We're going to get to them in a bit. I just want to say hi to everybody on YouTube and on Twitch. We're simulcasting on both of those. If you guys have any questions, don't forget to ask question or type question in the front, and then add your message for the questions to be settled during the show. As well as this show has a super chat function on YouTube. Any of your contributions towards us is greatly appreciated, and it goes towards the show production and gear and paying John off. And I don't know. Anyways, yeah, tonight is going to be a fun episode. John, how are you tonight, man?
Extremely good. Extremely good. Tonight we're going to talk about GBWC, right? Where we're accompanied with our guests. What? We're accompanied by our guest. We're going to do a roundtable. Basically, Simon Lamb from Toronto.
Hey guys.
Tell us more about yourself, Simon, and what are you working on these days?
Oh, okay. Well, hi everybody. I'm Simon. People who know me, I'm the lucky guy in 2017. For the last 2 years or so, I've been working on my next GBWC entry. And it's this guy right here. It's been 2 years. I'm still working on it. About 50% by now. But then, you know what? When you have like a long haul project, you try not to get burned out. So I try to do something like on the opposite side of the spectrum. So I paint a lot of minifigures. So if you see my Facebook, you'll see a lot of like figures, painting, sculptures, and all that stuff. Also with the GUNPLA. Yeah. So I'm here now. Thank you.
Amazing,
Awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, we're gonna get
Thank
more.
You, Simon.
I want to see that build at some point tonight because I think that's really fun.
Oh, amazing. Ryan Lau, our very good friend from Edmonton?
Yeah, Edmonton.
Right? Edmonton,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Amazing.
Hi,
So
everyone.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thank you for joining us.
I feel very honored to be among all of you guys, and so thanks for involving us in this chat. My name is Ryan.
Ryan, I think you got it wrong. We're honored to be part of your show.
No.
Exactly.
Whatever, man. This is your show, man, not my show. But no, thanks for getting me involved. I really appreciate it, guys. And I just love kind of the even though we're all across the country, it's nice that we can still connect through these things, So I just love it. But yeah, my name's Ryan. Currently, right now, I'm working on my annual project. So far since GBWC, I think I've only made one piece every year kind of thing. So I'm planning on entering Zachary Aurelius's clean versus weathered build off. So I decided on doing that fairly last minute, actually, maybe only three weeks ago or something. But anyways, I'm working on detailing up an Exceed RX-78-2. Actually, I'm making the G3 version of it, but detailing that up and making kind of like a head bust for it. So yeah, and I'm having a lot of fun.
Amazing. Great. Thank you for joining us. Now we have our next guest.
I don't know this name. I don't know this guy. Who is this guy? Why is he here?
He's been on the show before.
We just can't get rid of him. He just stayed. He was watching the show from the stands, and he goes, "I'm gonna walk over here," and starts attending the show. And then we're like, "Okay, we're done with Nico. Thanks for showing up." It's like just that next show. It's like somehow it just keeps coming back. So
exactly.
I guess I'm the Latino guy.
The Latino guy. Also winner of GBWC 2019.
Yeah. And I see that everybody's been working on their GWC 20-something projects.
Yeah, that's it. Technically, you're the last winner, right? Winner since 2019.
Longest streak because he hasn't been taken out yet.
Yeah.
And I am working on on my next GWC, but I'm going super duper slow. So
yeah,
it's probably 10% done out of 100. Nice. So it's not going to be done for this year, or maybe not even for the next, but one day.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? With the pandemic going, I wonder if we're gonna see better builds, or if we're gonna see more builds, or if we're gonna see, I don't know what's gonna happen. The next GBWC is for now unplanned, I guess. And but I wonder how many people are gonna like triple the effort into their build.
Well, to be honest with you, I probably won't participate until it's like an actual competition where you can go. Like I'm not a big fan of online competitions, so that's why I don't do many of them, or many of the ones that are going on right now, because I enjoy the actual going to the event. That's like a big part of
unlike some online winners, right? Like those online winners, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, they got. Oh, are you kidding me? Have you seen what they made?
I haven't, because I haven't seen it in person.
Holy man.
Oh.
Shots fired.
I saw both of them. Well, two of them in person.
Yes, I did see Simon's in person eventually when he came back from, or no, when it was displayed, I think at the, or did you enter the competition? No, Showdown. You entered the Showdown, right? The Zaku. Yeah.
Ariel, you're always welcome to come to Edmonton and stay at my place after the COVID pandemic, and I'll show you mine in person.
And your kid too, right?
I want to see it.
And your kid too, right, Ryan?
I want to see it too.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, that is great. Amazing. Well,
we don't have them in order yet. There we go. 2017, 18, and then 19. An amazing feat, guys, that you guys have achieved in the last couple of years. And again, like these names are probably going to ring throughout, our hobby and our community history, representing especially Canada in the national finals. Again, thank you guys for doing that. And you guys, I truly believe that you guys represented our country amazingly. Speaking for all of us here at Mecha Pew Pew.
I tried. I did my best.
And Nico too, I guess. He was there. So, all right, John, where are we at?
Well, I want to know what you're working on these days.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about Nico's work. Do we need to? Can we just skip him? Hang on, let's bring him back, I guess. There we go. Nico. All right, what are you working on these days, Nico?
Well, right now I'm working on my Barbatos. I'm on the weathering stage. And I'm going slow because I don't want to burn out, so I just work like maybe an hour a day. Going really slow, no stress. So I'm enjoying it like that. So it's fun.
Honestly, I think that's a very healthy approach. Working like an hour a day, and like just being consistency is much more important than what do you call it?
Because the stress can make
overnight, whatever.
When you start to stress about it, it starts to be like on my GWC. At the end of the build, I was getting really stressed out, and it was stopped being fun. Like I literally finished my project 3 days before the trip to Montreal. So I don't want to be in that position again.
Okay.
With anything.
Yeah, that makes sense perfectly. Well, thank you. We're gonna jump on the topics of discussion, the GBWC overall. I mean, that's always what we talk about, right? When we're all together. But let's
for those people who are not watching, do you guys know what GBWC stand for? Hang on, let's do a test. Let's try. I want to see. You know what, Simon? GBWC. What does that stand for? What's the acronym for that?
So that's a GUNPLA Builder World Championship.
Oh, nice! Ding, ding, ding! Winner. Nico, it's GBWC. Just letting you know, man.
That's what I said before.
Yeah.
What makes you think I didn't say? What makes you think that I didn't say it before in Spanish? That counts.
Yeah, that's it. You can say whatever. But
bilingual, baby.
So we talk about. Oh, go on.
Never mind. I was gonna say it in Chinese, like GBWC.
Nice. There we go. Awesome.
GBWC.
Nice.
Sorry,
but
do the right thing.
We can move on to the history, right? A brief history of what GBWC and how it came to be. I think it's good to see like the root of where it started and where it's at today. So basically, in 2003, Bandai started a competition called let me see, Bakak. So Bakak was Bandai Action No. That was before. Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
Okay.
So Backhack was started in 2003. It's basically the Bandai Action Kit Asia Cup, and it ran from 2003 to 2005. So it was basically a competition between China, Hong Kong, Korea, Taiwan, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Philippines, right?
And this was called World War II. Oh, okay. Sorry, go on, man.
Wow.
Wow, that was bad, man. Put more effort into it. Whoa. You haven't been getting too much sleep, maybe. Maybe could stop.
That's it.
All right, go on.
So this contest was basically an Asian Cup, right? Finding the best modeler in Asia. And it changed to Baku in 2006 when Italy jumped in. So Italy became like the made it a worldwide competition, right? And until then, many years after, I think it was in 2009 that Baku changed to GBWC, the actual world competition, where I think France, who else joined?
France, Italy, Malaysia, well, all the Asian Pacific Rim stuff.
So I think
then
France
US was the first one to be inducted as non.
It wasn't US actually; it was North America, right?
Was it North?
Yes,
North America.
So and it was North America, and I'm not exactly 2011, I believe. But yeah, so basically that's it. Baku changed into GBWC in 2009, and it's basically what we know today, right? It's a competition organized by the plastic model seller maker Bandai, and so it's been growing every year, right? Adding new countries and everything. It used to be region, like the North America. Now North America has divided into Canada and the US. So we were lucky in 2017 to have joined the GBWC event.
Oh my God, that was a year. That was
and at that point, you guys know more than me.
I wouldn't know.
Recapping 2017, I don't know if you guys, from us in Ontario, so we have like our local Facebook community, and then we have our local friends that we interact with. I think before, for me anyway, this is speaking from a personal POV, before GBWC, I didn't even know that other people built Gunpla, and I only see them like online when you go to like Hobby Link Japan, because like that's where, or like vlogs. Gundam Guy was one of them. Oh my God, there was like all these other Danny Wu, or is it something Wu? And Fitchin Fu are some of the guys that I followed back in the day, that they're like, oh, we're entering this whatever online stuff. And to me, just to like we get the post after to hear the winners, and we never see like the community on that. Again, I was just still new to the Facebook community, especially with our hobby. But when we found out that Canada has GBWC accessible, it was being held in Montreal. Otakutan was the event for that, and we only had 3 months notice.
3 months, yeah.
To crank. Well, we didn't know, so we weren't building for an actual competition. We just for build. I was building for fun.
And that's when you decided, let's not tell Nico about it.
I don't know you that well, man. So I met this guy, and he's like super chill and cool. It was 2016, 2017, and so I was with other friends, team also. Shout out to those guys. And we made a pretty much travel pack to go to Montreal.
Yeah, you guys made T-shirts and all.
Made T-shirts.
This is the thing. Though. You said we weren't friends. No, that's not true, because I found out about it when I was on the bus on my way to work, and I saw your Facebook, which means that you were my friend by then.
Are you sure? Because But yeah, it was quite but I mean, the organization of it happened so drastically. I think it happened like 2 months before we learned about it. But I wonder, is it who's responsible for the late reply? Is it like the organizers? Is it Bandai? Is it? I'm not even sure. Like,
no, the thing is, you guys, like you said, like you guys, when I found out, is that you guys were inside the car on your way to Montreal already. Saying
to enter, because we've been working on it, But we were posting our whips though the whole time. Anyways, we're gonna get to your story. We're gonna get to 2017 in a second.
Nice.
for 2017, do you guys remember 2017? What were you guys doing? I know Nico's story because we left his ass back in Toronto. But for Simon Lam, Ryan Lau, let's ask you guys. 2017, when you guys found out about GBWC, did you guys know about the event prior to that, or how did you guys heard about it and eventually entered? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So.
Also, were you guys working on a kit before learning about it, or you guys just like? Well,
So
go on. Yeah.
So for me, it was funny because I got into GUNPLA maybe in 2016, like got into it, and then 2017. Actually, I was watching YouTube and I bumped into Joshua Dara's 2015 GBWC video, and so I watched the entirety of it. I was like, wow, this is amazing! Like, I can't believe there's like a World Cup. Yeah, it's St. Andrew. Yeah. I was like, this is amazing because I can't believe there's like a competition for, GUNPLA. And I'm like, it would be amazing to go there, right? And then so I started looking and I was like, oh, is there is Canada involved in it? And then there was talks that 2017 would be the year that it would start. And so I was like, man, that's amazing. But nothing was confirmed until, like you said, 3 months afterwards or before the event. And so I remember asking around. I joined tons of like Facebook groups, and well, not tons, but like maybe like a couple, like one in Ontario, one in Vancouver. And then I remember joining these groups, and I was like, "Hey guys, anyone know about GBWC?" And like that's the only way I can find out about it. And then I was like, "Let me know about it," And then so anyways, so I decided to make an entry for 2017, but I wasn't working on something before. It was specific just for 2017. So
you worked on it for like 2 months, right? Or
like 2-3 months.
Wow, that's fast. Like relatively of like.
Yeah.
Just before we continue, I just want to say shout out to everyone that's watching and tuning in. We have a lot of like people and friends across the world, and especially North America. GUNPLA Rotzi is here. We have Mech Dio, Manny from New York. We have GUNPLA in Miami. Out in Miami, obviously, sexy bitch. Neon Wave, and who else do we got here? And Choco Falcon. Oh, David. Oh my God, John Kyle is here. Patrick is here, and Patrick. Is it Patrick? Like our Patrick? Probably not our Patrick. Hi, Patrick.
Hi, Patrick.
You're Patrick. Awesome.
But before we continue, I think it's good to mention that back in 2015, 2016, we have some local runner-ups, right? I think they both of them ended up in second place in 2015. I think it was one of our friend Nate that won with a great Jesta, I think. And then on the 2016, it was one of our very good friend Andrew. Both of them have been on the show before, and they won with a very great diorama of IBO. It was quite impressive. And
so that was 2015 and 16, right?
Yeah, before it was in Canada. It was only basically they were first in Canada, but they were technically second in North America. Canada wasn't split on its own, so basically that means that Simon was the first winner of GBWC in 2017.
Absolutely, congratulations! Our first Canadian champion. That was a very, very interesting experience, I would imagine, for Simon. So do you want to go to the story, or do we want to? How do we want to do this?
Sure. Well, surprisingly, my story was almost identical with Ryan's, because I stopped building for about like 25 years, and then I rebooted in 2016, if I remember. And I've only built a couple kits since then. And then on 2017, I was actually in a store looking for my birthday gift. So I was going to get myself a GUNPLA, and then the store owner was like, "Have you heard about GBWC?" I go, "Yeah, I heard about it. That is North America, right?" And they go, no, we're having a Canada version this year. And I go, "Oh, really?" Because I when I was a kid, I always wanted to enter the Baku one, okay? Yeah. But then I wasn't good enough back in the days, but I always wanted to enter. And I go, "Oh, you know what? Why not? Let's give it a try." But the thing is, we only had, like I said, we only have 3 months, and we kind of have to put in a rush. So my birthday present became a tactical choice on what should I do for this competition. Yeah. So, and I got lucky. So
lucky. It's skills, man.
So online competition, I could only imagine, like what must have been going through for those guys, because like that year was kind of also a very, I wouldn't say rough, but it was definitely lots of learning experiences for both the organizers and the attendees, right?
Of course.
Unfortunately, I think during that year we did not see every single entries. Like I've seen the local ones because we were at the local ones, but the online entries were, I think it wasn't shown. But from the finalists, I mean, we saw all the finalists, but we did not see all
No,
the
I believe
entries.
no. 2017, I believe they did show everything.
Okay, okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah,
Yep.
every single online entry was there in 2017.
Yes.
Is it 18? That's the one that's that
That's
wasn't?
right. Yep.
Okay, we're gonna get to that. I'm like, I don't know what year this freaking lockdown is really hitting me hard. So I do apologize
Yeah.
for that.
So this event. So this event only happened. So basically, at that time in 2017, it was only happening in Montreal and online. Obviously, online because like Canada's a wide country, right? There's no other choice but to enter people, giving them a chance to enter, even though they can't reach the city.
So hang on, Simon. I have a couple of. I have like your screen share ready. Are we gonna go to that, or do you want to save that for a bit?
Let's save that for a bit.
Sure.
There we go. There we go.
Drum roll for later. Great. So like basically, yeah. So what was your approach to building? Like, did you have a plan of action? You said you entered. You just choose your kit and you start working on it. But did you have like?
Right.
Do you remember how it felt to start into it? And do you remember how your mentality, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Now, well, first of all, because we only have 2 months, so we kind of have to make something up quick. So one of the things is I know I won't be able to do a perfect grade, so for sure I went with the master grade right off the bat. Now the thing is, like when you choose a kid for competition, there's always two schools of thought. Either you do something you just like to do, and then whatever happens, because this is my kid, I like it this way, or you try to create something that's meant for competitions. So like for that year, you kind of have to justify like what can you do in 2 months, and what is special, because a lot of time when it comes to competition, you think about like I don't want to build the same kit as everybody else, so you kind of want something that's unique, something that I won't have some compare like with the same kid, like two persons did the same thing, right? So you kind of have to find that what is in the storyline that not a lot of people has done, so you kind of find something rare to do. At the same time, it doesn't need a lot of modification because I don't have the time for it. So it wasn't. I did a lot. I actually spent almost like out of the 2 months, I spent half the time doing researches on what would be a good choice, and I ended up with the Johnny Raiden Zagu high mobility version, because one of the reasons is that for myself, I came from I came from the military modeling background. I do tanks, I do cars, battleships, and planes. So for me, when I build a model, I kind of want things to look real, something that makes sense. So because a lot of people do kit bashes, right? If I want to create something, like for me, like I'm a UC guy, so I'm old school. So if I want to build a dome, I want the end result to actually look like a dome and not something entirely different. But then for a competition, if you just do a dome, it's no fun. So you kind of have to make think of something special for it. So what I did, I looked into the story, what seems to be missing, and I end up with the Johnny Raiden Zaku, because it actually, I did a lot of background research so that it makes sense, because I added the GBO2 parts to it because it's probable, because he was actually within the same timeline when Gato had the GBO2, and he was at the time working for a special test team, kind of like TTT. So they would get the top-notch weapon. So it would make sense if Gato has his hand on the nuclear weaponized machine. There's a good chance he's going to send those information back to Xeon, and Johnny would be the test pilot for it. So that's I spent half of the time to make it probable. So if there's such a machine in the storyline, it would actually make sense. And then it just happened, I guess. There was some hiccups.
Nice.
I actually melt the head a couple of times. That's famous. Yeah, cement.
Which was actually I was actually really impressed by the fact that you melted half the head and literally reconstructed from scratch. And I was like, wow, that's kind of like, okay, all right. Like not many people know about that, but like I'm like, wow, that's if you know about it, you're like, wow.
I screamed like a little girl when it happened. Okay. Yeah. So the funny thing is, because there's so little time. I don't know if you remember, the deadline was extended.
Yes.
So originally
for online, right? I think
for online, but not for local, because like ours was done
online.
already by the time.
Yeah. Originally, I only had time to finish the kit itself, just the kit itself with no base. Only because they extended the deadline, I was able to come up with some kind of base for it. Yeah. So if you, Ariel, you want to share the screen now?
Nah. Okay, let's go Ryan Lau.
So this
I got you, Simon.
Okay, so before the deadline, I don't even have the bottom part. Okay, so I was lucky.
Hang on, Simon. Can you maximize that? I don't think we could see, or drag it to the screen where it's supposed to be.
Oh, there you go.
Nope.
Now it's
not
screen on man.
It's showing your folder. So maybe what you want to do is go to the share screen and then select the actual screen like number. Let's try that again. Technical difficulties, and there's Nico entertaining us with his. I think that kit in front of him.
There's some funny comments there. There's some funny comments there. Julio's making me laugh.
Julio, shout out. Oh man.
Okay, let's
hang on. Where is this uni?
So let's see. Do you see the screen now?
There we go.
Yeah, make it full screen.
All right. So when you click on that,
okay.
There we go. Awesome.
Okay. Oh, it's beautiful.
Beautiful. Oh yes.
Nice.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
Love it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So, but it it goes on the slide mode by itself. That's weird.
Hold on. Oh.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. No, that's actual size. Maximize it. Like hit the maximize button at the top.
Yeah, that's it. And then just zoom in. I guess. Control. Scroll in.
Yep. Somehow it wouldn't. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That works. Oh,
okay,
wow.
We could do that. Yeah.
All right. So let's start with this. So this is the final result, first of all. It's mostly detailing. I haven't really done a lot of modification to it. So the only thing that was kit bashes was the GBO 2 parts. Mostly because there wasn't enough time. Minimum weathering. I'm quite happy what was done in 3 months. But when I actually got to Japan, then I realized, like, what have I done? That mine entry was nothing like the other guys. When I was in Japan, one of the biggest things that I wanted to take away that I got from Japan, if you guys will look at this picture, don't care what people say.
Where is it? Where is it? I can't. Oh, there it is. Okay, I could barely see how small it was.
See, this is the problem. Size matter.
Yeah. Because that's the thing, right?
Oh no. Okay, Ariel's gonna shut up on that one.
That's the takeaway from.
I've heard rumors, right? Is that one of the key points that they're looking for also? Well, the first thing is it's a marketing competition, right? We have to be aware of that, and it's a known fact. Because it's a marketing competition, I heard a lot of the time is that they select kits that can look good on a cover of a magazine. This is what they aim for a lot. Like obviously quality is good, but like showmanship is also another thing. So I think like you're right, absolutely. Like size matters. And from your experience, you say like, so what do you think is a? Well, I mean, I don't see any problem with it personally because I think it's a magnificent piece. But what is your opinion on your hurdles and what you could have done better, maybe?
What could have done better? Basically, if you look at my next entry in 2018, that's what I would have wanted to do in the first place. But there wasn't enough time to do it. So I'm actually quite happy and proud of that one build. This one, I honestly, I think I got lucky because don't forget, the same year, Bandai released the RG, the Johnny Raiden kit.
Yes.
So I I believe that I actually hit the marketing requirement, that I got lucky this year because I picked the right kid. Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I got the chance to see your build for the first time when we went to the second Mecha Showdown. And I was there already, and I think the entry that I did was a Sinanju Stein, and I was there. I was the first people. And then you came in with it, and my girlfriend looked at it, and she said, "Honey, why can't you make yours look like that?"
But sometimes that's it. Like they don't understand like the complexity of things, right? So like people who are not like in the hobby. So
I was like hopefully I will be able to soon, because that was an amazing build. I remember that was one of the first times that I see such a high quality build ever, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm not winning anything here.
Awesome. So just wrapping up for Simon here. So when you were in Japan, like, you know, obviously that was like the first time Canada was in a world competition event like that. What was it like, or like from your POV, you know, being the first representative from Canada, like how did it go for you? Like what are some of your key highlights?
Well, first of all, as you said, this is the first time we ever that we ever have a Canadian representative, right? So for me, I honestly don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And when
there's
I was
no benchmark, right?
Me and my wife went a weekend event, so we actually kind of go around and see things until the day off, and we were shocked because like, we can't believe how much happened in one day. Because the whole thing was done in one day, and everything was like on the dot. You go in there 8 o'clock in the morning. You have your 2 hours to set up. Everything has to be done within there, and then you go around, eat a little, and then come back for the judgment, take a group photo, and then there was the ceremony, and then there was more photo shoots. Like everything is on the dot, scheduled, action-packed in one day, and then by 4 o'clock you're back into the hotel, and that's it. So it's like you're in the dream. Like you didn't know what happened, but boom, you're done. Next year, see you later. It was. But one thing we didn't expect because, we never have to take our kid all the way to Japan before. How do we take the build to Japan without breaking it? That was one of the biggest challenges. When we built it, we never thought about that at all. So that was an oversight. I think I ended up going with the Pelican case to try to have to stuff a lot of foam in it just to hopefully it doesn't break. And
did
then
you
when
do
I
it as a carry-on, or did you do it as a carry-on?
It was carry-on
the whole time?
The good thing is mine was small enough that I can just fit in a little box I can just carry with me. When I got to Japan and see all the other contestants, I was like, holy cow. And this guy's there, David is there. Okay.
David,
the night of
Falcon was there.
Okay, sorry, I'm gonna have to work it out. The night off, we got to the hotel. A bunch of us got together and said, "Hey, let's go have some drink, get something to eat, celebrate a little." And we asked, like, "David, you're coming with us?" And he was like, "No, I can't." Like, what do you mean you can? Let's have some fun. I was like, "I have to pre-assemble my build." I was like, "What do you mean by that? You have to assemble your build tomorrow." I was like, "No, I have to at least build half of it, or else I won't have time to finish building it tomorrow." Like, what do you mean half of it? How long it takes you? He spent like 4 hours just building his thing in his room that night. And then he still used the entire 2 hours to finish it the other day. And at that point, I realized, okay, I'm in the wrong place. Because if you ask me how long it's going to take for me to prepare my kit to put it in that box, I don't know, 2.5 minutes. Open the door, put it in, and close the door. So I actually had a lot of time to walk around and watch other people do it. And Ken from Hong Kong came in with 4 suitcases. Like, can you imagine that? 4 suitcases.
Wow.
I think David also pre-assembled my year as well too. Is that right, David? I'm so blown away by David. He's in the chat. So
Choco Falcon. Yeah, no, awesome story. Like, we're gonna get back to a couple more questions during the GBWC. We're gonna switch over to Ryan next, so we could keep this going. But we're definitely gonna circle back. Let's go to Ryan next.
Yes, Ryan, tell us more. So, how did you approach your 2017 build, and how did you? So, what happened? What did you place?
So it was funny. So both Simon and I entered online for 2017, and Simon came in first place. I came in second place online, and then overall Canadian, I think I placed third place. And so I remember I was just so happy actually because I was like, wow, there's a trophy I can get, right? Like I remember getting the bronze trophy mailed to me, and I was over the moon. But kind of backtracking a little bit for 2017. Going back to what Simon said, like there's two ways of approaching competition, right? One is building for the competition, or the second is just building what you love building, right? And so as my first foray into like a competition, honestly, I had just snapped up the GM Sniper 2. And so
that was a new release too that year, wasn't it?
Yes, that was a new release. Exactly. And it was actually probably one of my favorite kits of that year, it's still an amazing kit, and so it was really funny actually, because opposite to what Simon was saying, how the RG Johnny Ridden Zachary came out, right? So for me, I was like, I love the GM Sniper 2. I would love to make the white dingo version, right?
Right.
So the funny thing is I got the regular GM Sniper 2. And I had planned to paint it all in the white dingo color scheme.
Yeah. Was it released at the time?
Yeah, so a month later, Bandai releases it as a P Bandai.
Yeah, like, P Bandai release.
I was like, why? I was like, I was working on, like it has like that head Vulcan thing that I took from the MG Mark II Gundam, right? And I anyway, so it was funny because at first I was like, I'm gonna make just like Simon, right? I'm gonna make an alternate version of it, right? And anyway, so I wanted to detail it up, but yeah, I mean, like Simon said, we were pretty crunched for time, right? And so I honestly was so thankful that they extended the online competition for an extra month, because I was able to finish my base for that. And so do you have pictures of that one, Ariel?
I do. Give me 1 second. I'll pop it up for you.
Yeah. So I was really, like this was one of my first kind of custom projects for an MG kit, I guess. And so I had tons of fun making it. And honestly, just being involved in the competition was, like I said, I was just over the moon that I won the a trophy for it. And so you can see the picture of the trophy. So and so
for sure. Oh man, that thing is beautiful.
It is awesome. Yeah. The trophy looks great, and your kit too. I guess it looks all right, but like, look at this, it's beautiful.
The trophy has seam lines.
Everyone looking at it is like, "Oh, you built the P Bandai one," and I'm like, "No, I didn't." Like, it's like the original one. I'm like, never mind.
We have a quick question here from Neon Wave. Is taking longer to assemble your kit a form of flexing for GBWC contestants?
Honestly, Dave has all the right to flex because he is amazingly talented. And honestly, like, he's probably one of the guys who's been to GBWC the most, and I have mad respect for David. So yeah, it's definitely a form for flexing. I think if I ever get the honor of going to GBWC, I'm going to try to pre-assemble mine the night before too.
Awesome stuff. And here's just a quick preview, guys. Don't forget that all the champions here were also in previous feature builder episodes at AO Mecha Live. So check it out on the playlist for season 1. And I think they're all season 1 right now. I got to get you guys back for season 3 at some point. I think that's going to happen. But yeah, so I'm going to close this share. We're going to continue on with Ryan's story. So you were there, again, similar kind of question with Simon. Like, what was some of the first impressions of you being there, some of the peoples you met, and some of the highlights from the show?
Is this for like my 2018 competition?
Yes, 2018. Or do you want to talk about 2017? So 2017, you did place at this one, right?
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, 2017, I was just honored to be like, I was honestly, leading up to then, I didn't really know any other builders across Canada. And so seeing kind of, you know, Simon's work, seeing some other people's works, I was really blown away at the, you know, at the quality of it. And so I was like, wow, like the competition is, you know, it's pretty high level, you know?
Yes,
And so I was pretty motivated for 2018 because of that. And so, yeah, I
think when GBWC started, I think you guys were obviously the elite, but there was no, like, the second tier was very low in terms of build.
There was a big gap.
There's a massive gap, and over the years, you guys were like the gold standard, and kind of like people trying to reach slowly. They're not there yet, but like they're trying. And I think hopefully the next GBWC we're gonna have a lot of contestants that we're gonna be able to try.
Well, yeah, they gotta take out Simon. They gotta take out Ryan. They gotta take out Nico. Not in that order, I guess, but you know what I mean.
Wow. But yeah, so hopefully soon we'll have a big
so
power.
fast forward 2018, and we're gonna circle back with these guys on that one. 2018, Ryan, you placed for Canada. Congratulations again on that win, representing our country. Sorry, I got confused on the years again, so we're now at 2018. Time traveling now.
In the world.
Worst host in the world. That's why I'm just here. 2018, what were your you obviously you had a taste for blood, you were entering again. What was your game plan this time around?
Yeah, so it's actually really interesting because it completely switched. So I immediately after 2017, I started working on the Hazel. I had an idea of building the gigantic arms unit for the Hazel Gundam, you know, for the Advance of Zeta, right? And so I started working on that, but I wasn't, at the same time, I was kind of getting a little burnt out, you know? I was going to play with different grades of GUNPLA, like HG and MG, and kind of have like different sizes and everything. And I was kind of getting, you know, maybe not burnt out, but just kind of like I was running out of ideas at that point. And then so I decided as like a side build, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to kind of snap up the Kshatriya, you know, the Kshatriya repaired, right? Because I thought it was kind of a fascinating kid. I always loved Marita Cruz. She's one of my favorite pilots kind of thing. And so I was fascinated with it. So I snapped it up, and then I remember just putting it beside my dresser. I have a tendency of just putting my builds like, you know, it'd be like one of the last things I look at, you know, or I just, no, not really, but like, you know, I just like to look at.
I love you too, honey, but wait.
No.
Such a meta, like,
but wait.
I have the most wonderful life in the world. But like, I just like to look at things for a long time to kind of process it. And I just love the design of the Kshatriya, as do many other people. And so as I was building this Hazel gigantic arms unit, I had this Kshatriya, you know, sitting right beside me every night, right? And then, so eventually I was like, you know what? I kind of want to like work on that instead, you know? And then, so I think it was around January when I decided to switch. And then I started working, and as I was working more and more on the Kshatriya, I got more ideas, and I was like, you know, like there's this variant called the Kshatriya Besarang, where it's like in between the Kshatriya repaired and the Kshatriya. And I was like, oh,
research,
cool.
right? Research,
exactly.
It makes everything, just like how Simon did with his research of the timeline. Like you did research of like the alternate version. It's
exactly. Yeah, that's right. And then so looking into exactly, because I feel like Simon and I have some pretty similar build styles when it comes to GUNPLA. You know, like we both like kind of, you know, realistic kind of mechanical stuff. And so so then I was like, oh, this is great. So it gave me kind of a direction and focus. And then so I just started going for it, right? And then I started thinking, okay, well, you know, I want to make my base bigger this year, you know, and maybe have more impact. So then I started looking into, you know, how to, you know, composition and everything like that. And then so so eventually just kind of, you know, went from there. And I really enjoyed that build. Funny fact is I would bring like individual pieces of my Kshatriya to work on whenever I had free time at work. And then so it would take me an incredibly long time to work it up, because literally I'd bring like maybe one forearm piece to work, you know, and then I would like scribe it and stuff, or maybe two of them so I could scribe both at the same time, you know. So it was honestly like you know, everyone would always ask me like, how long did it take you to build this? And I'd be like, I honestly can't tell you, because I would literally work on it every day, but very little, right? But yeah, no, so I really enjoyed it. And so, oh yeah, there's some pictures over there of my entry. So
nice.
Yeah. And there were a lot of first time with a lot of different things and a lot of fun discoveries along the way as well too. But overall, I just really enjoyed this build.
I'm as a guy who loves analyzing parts and stuff. I want to say I'm a big fan of how you use the maybe we're going to see it in the final picture, but how you use the Barbatos chest as a leg mechanical design. It was mind blowing because it fits so well into the design, right?
Yeah, I always knew I wanted to give him like a better leg rather than a peg leg.
Yes.
And so honestly, once again, this was at work. But I always loved the chest inner frame of the Barbatos. And so I knew I really wanted to use that in this build. And so I was honestly just playing around and I'm like, hey, this looks like the perfect calf muscle, you know? And then so it just worked out perfectly for that, you know? But yeah, no, I'm glad you noticed that.
Yeah,
John. That's awesome.
It's very good. Oh
yeah,
well, beautiful,
awesome,
amazing.
So, couple of questions before we switch to Nico, because like he's being all antsy there. I could see him jittering in his little socks there.
You're so in love with me.
I am. Love you. Like this. You complete me.
New Ariel or old Ariel?
Both. That's a fantasy waiting to happen. Ryan, so going back to my original question, again, congratulations on going to Japan. When you found out, what are some of the thoughts that were going through your head? And then, you know, some tidbits about your experience going to Japan representing Canada.
Okay, so honestly, like leading up to the whole build, because me, Simon, and a couple of other guys are in the chat, right? So we were always constantly updating each other on our builds. I was honestly so blown away by Simon's build. And so I honestly thought like Simon would win the whole thing, but I was like, I'll still finish my entry because, you know, it's just fun to make something, right? Yeah. And so I was honestly really surprised when I got the phone call from Plamod saying that I won.
Allow me to interrupt there. I was thinking the exact opposite. I was trying to watch your build, and the second she saw the explosion on your diorama. She was like, "None of your toes," and I go, okay.
No, man, it's so funny. That's why I just love our community here in Canada. Like it's so great, you know. Like there's this. Anyways, I just love that. Like it's so funny. Like I feel like these guys here are so humble, you know, and I just love like sharing.
Not Ariel.
I was just thinking that Ryan, you're mixed company here, but yeah, I appreciate the thought.
That's what it is, right? Canada has been acting like as a brotherhood of Gunpla, where everybody just stalks each other, shares each other, and just like you know, it's all about building and having fun. And the live event, when next time you can attend, like, you know, like it's the same, right? It's all, we're all entering our build and we're all rushed to the next person who's coming in with their build. And it's like, oh, nice, you know, how's it going? And then you meet new people and you make new friends and everything. So
that's great. That's so great. Yeah, and so I was super excited, you know, when I got the phone call. Honestly, the funny thing in Canada is we literally find out maybe weeks, like maybe even 2.5 weeks before the actual world competition. So I remember we had to like rush in getting the ticket. So at the same time, I was like, you know, kind of panicking because I was, you know, like Simon saying, you know, all of a sudden you're like, oh, you have to transport this whole kit there. And so I remember like frantically trying to buy like, you know, Pelican kits in there, or, you know, or not kits.
Pelican used to be like the gold standard.
I ended up going with like a Amazon version of the Pelican. So it was super cheap.
So if you go to Canadian Tire, like once every 2 months, they have a sale on their Mastercraft pseudo Pelican boxes.
Yeah.
So
so I, you know, it was just insane. And I remember messaging like, thank God for Simon too, because I remember messaging him like, hey, like, so how does it work, like, because they're going to be like sending the kit back to you, and so do you have to print out instructions? So apparently it turns out you have to make instructions on how to assemble and disassemble your kit. And so I literally worked on that the week before, right? And so it's tricky. Imagine someone else taking apart your kit.
Yeah.
Right? That's a whole other thing, because you yourself know, because you built everything. But But anyway, so it was kind of, you know, it was a, you know, it was a big rush, but obviously, you know, super excited for this whole thing. So yeah, I was very thankful. Yeah.
So how did it happen over there? Right, you got the call, you flew over there, and
Hey
how did
Ryan,
that feel?
guess what? You're the winner. Pack your things. You're going to Disneyland.
Yeah. You know, this was literally the conversation. It was like, hello? I'm like, hi. It's like, is this Ryan? And I'm like, yes. It's like, congratulations. I was like, who is this, right? And then
Not
like,
another cruise trip.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it? It wasn't Young. It was. It must have been.
It was Sean.
It was Sean
from
that called you,
Belmont.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I remember he was just laughing and I was laughing and my wife was there with me and we were just like, oh man, this is crazy. Like, I can't believe we're going to Japan, right? And so it was just absolute joy. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
Oh,
So
nice. All right. Well, I guess
Japan is so far.
yeah.
2018, again, a very eventful year for everybody here. And just circling back, like Simon, you entered, and did Nicolas entered as well on 2018?
What do you think?
I don't think you did, but I know Simon did.
I did, yeah.
I did.
All right, we'll
Nico,
circle on that.
What did you enter? What did you enter? Do you have pictures that we can probably see?
Well, I show you. The first one that I did was the 2017 when I did the online from the bus. I submitted pictures of this.
Oh, that's nice.
It was the Origin RX-78. I already had made this one before, so luckily I had the pictures that Bandai demanded for the event, front, side, and good shot. So I used that one for that. I knew it wasn't going to place anything, but I just wanted to participate on it. So that was my 2017 entry. On 2018, I actually went to Montreal this time, and I got second place there. So if you share the screen, I can show you pictures of it.
Nah, let's go to Simon Lang because he's more entertaining. But I'm kidding. Is it this one yours? Nope, that's Ryan. That's Ryan. Hang on. Everybody's out of
That's
order.
my face. That's my face.
There we go.
There we go. So this is the one that I did for Montreal, and I got second place in Montreal. It was a fun experience. I loved it. That's why I like those competitions a lot, because the atmosphere with everybody there and just chatting about the hobby, it's just great.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, this took me about 3 months to make. And it was a fun experience. That's when I realized that to do a big project for a competition like this requires time. So I took that on consideration when I was going to do my next one. So when we get there, I'll let you know what was that. But I was fun with this project. It's still very novice in many things. It's my very first diorama on anything. It was fun. But I love from that, what I remember the most, it was not necessarily the prizes or anything like that. What I liked the most about that experience was the trip. That was great.
Yeah.
That was an awesome experience.
Yeah. All right, we're going to transition to Nico in a second. We'll just finish off with Ryan here real quick on his trip. So arriving with your entry on Japan, what was that experience like, and how was the setup? Was it similar to Simon's, or was it like something a little bit different from your perspective?
Yeah, so I mean, it was okay. So from later on, I'll show pictures from the day, the beginning of the day, all the way to the end, kind of thing. But pretty much the setup, yeah, like they give you 2 hours to do it, and it maybe took me an hour and 15 minutes, kind of thing. Fortunately, maybe only one thruster bell broke off or something, so I had to quickly glue it back together. Yeah.
Okay.
But other than that, everything else was really smooth, actually. And I was just, honestly, it's one of those things where you're kind of nervous all the way until you have set it up and you close the cabinet. And then you can really enjoy the event at that point, you know. And it was really cool, because there was a moment after we all set up our pieces that all of us just kind of naturally would just go from entry to entry and just kind of look. We're not like, and honestly, like everyone there they're all champions already, right? So I felt like it was just a huge celebration of of Gunpla. I was so glad that there wasn't any like if you go to competitions, maybe other competitions, people like size each other up, or like they pick out different things, or they might trash talk others, but it was totally not that. I have a big
it's like that guy, that guy.
It was really. Hey, Simon, your year, was there a Facebook chat group that was set up before the event?
That's right. David did that for everybody.
Yeah,
I heard about that.
David is the man. So honestly, like that was what really brought us together, I feel, because like we all like David was so on top of it. Every time there was one winner from each country, he would automatically add you to the Facebook chat group. And so it'd be the Facebook chat group of all the countries, all 16 countries, I think. And so we were chatting leading up to the competition already, And so going there, it was like a reunion almost, because we had been chatting with each other for a couple of weeks already. And so it was amazing. Yeah, it was really, really good.
Nice. Do you have any hurdles along the entire experience?
So it was really funny. Like security flying to from Edmonton to Japan. It was so funny because like obviously it looks weird holding two cases, right? And I was very particular. I was like, okay, they have to go through security. I was like, okay, I'm the only one who's holding these two cases. No one else is holding it, right? Well, my wife helped me hold it too. And then so obviously I was the one who was flagged for they have to check my suitcase, And then so I'm okay, whatever. I'm like, be very gentle, right? And then so they open up these two cases, right? And it looks like I'm carrying a sniper rifle, right? Like
exactly.
So
and your Pelican cases are like usually related with some kind of firearm.
Yeah, exactly, right? And then so I remember they opened the all the foam and stuff, right? And then it was this lady who was doing it, and then she was just like she didn't know anything about it, right? And then there was this Asian guy beside her, like Asian security guard. He like looks in, he's like, "Oh, it's a Gundam," and I was like, "Yes, thank you." And then because at first she was like going to take out the individual pieces to.
Oh no!
I was like, "Don't touch it!" And like my wife was amazing, right? Because my wife like butt in, and she's like, "Oh, my husband won this international competition, and he's bringing his model there, and so it has to be pristine, right?" And then so I was like, because the whole time I was just like, because if I'm telling her like, don't touch it, exactly, she's gonna be like, well, why are you telling me not to touch it, right? And then so good thing there was that Asian security guard too, and he's like, oh, it's a Gundam, like, and then so I'm like, yeah, I like built it for this like international modeling competition, and
GBWC, yeah.
So that was really funny, but I was honestly like really, I was pretty nervous about it, right? So, but anyways, yeah. That was the only real kind of hiccup, right?
Did you have to walk with the thing at like, let's say Tokyo Station with like in rush hour? Oh
yeah, I was honestly
hardcore,
I was like, carrying it so carefully like all through, because when you land in Japan you have to take like the subway
from Haneda or
not Haneda, the other one. I forgot the name.
I always land in Haneda.
Yeah. Anyways,
but yeah.
So, yeah, I was so nervous the whole time, and plus we went a week before, so I was so scared like the humidity would like have it stick to the foam pieces, and anyways, but yeah, so it's fun.
Yeah. Nice, awesome.
Nice.
And for 2018, Simon, what did you entered something quite amazing as well, right? Simon?
Oh no,
very amazing.
He froze. All right, so Nico, 2019.
No, wait. Ariel, you entered as well, right?
2017, 2018, and 2019 did not place because reasons. My skill set is not the greatest. Oh, here we go. Hi, guys. Hey, what's up? So a lot of you guys probably did not. I was very bad at taking photos back in the day, if you could believe that, because like I post now pretty often.
Narita.
Yep.
This guy right here is my. I don't know. Can we zoom? How do I zoom this thing in? Technology, guys.
You're the guy who knows.
So this is my entry for GBWC 2017. This is a modified EXS with the iWasp wings inverted because I love the V-fin inverts, and I added some custom claw plates and all that stuff onto it. But I've seen people work on Bakuk. Sorry, I'm referring it to Bakuk, not GBWC, because that's where I used to look at stuff. And there always been grand, big, wow kind of like builds, and I was like always blown away by it. Being that we only have 2-3 months to work on it, like I had to scrabble into getting what I can that is pretty big already off the get-go. So it shaves off in my thought process, it shaves off building time instead of building it up. So if I figured if the base is already large kit, then the process of that would just be kind of like more the detailing rather than the build-up. That being said, the 2018 I took another stab at it, and it's not as big as the EXS because I want to focus more on customizing and detailing and kit bashing a little bit more.
Whoa,
so
I love the base.
Yeah. So Nico came over and showed me how he weathers his stuff, and he actually helped out with the base on this one. So we were friends then. Now since then,
we did it at the hotel the night before.
The night before, and we were just like, here you go, use this brush, do this, do that. But this is my Wing Zero custom with the Age 2 and some scribing and additional plot plating. Obviously, Ryan took the win for that one, but that's just because I was in a handicap. It was raining that day. There was traffic. I couldn't get to the place in time, and things were all over it. I don't have my 2019 build because it's still in the box that I took. I went to Vancouver for that one, and I worked on a custom piece. The base of that one was the ZZ2 and the Amazing Zeta from the Build Fighters. So it was new. It was a high grade. I went from big master grade to small master grade to high grade at that point. I was just like, it was like shrinking down. But the backpack on that one was from the what do you call it? The GN arms. So the backpack kind of like made up the bulk of the set, right? So yeah, those are my builds.
Nice.
John, you entered.
I entered every year. They give you a pin, right? Which is a very good incentive. So 2017, I entered a modified Zeong / Barbatos. It went very, I don't have anything because I literally like smashed it to grab more parts for other builds. But what happened is that I've encountered a hurdle. Like basically I built the kit all separate from all the limbs, right? Except I built it from the HG Zeong, which has a horrible articulation. So in the end, like everybody had the same comments, like, oh, look at that zombie pose or like that Frankenstein pose. Yeah. And basically it was a failure because I didn't prepare enough, right? We had like 2 months. I think I literally took 1 week to make it. So unfortunately that did not work out at all. I didn't place, obviously. 2018, what happened? Okay, I shared my screen. I don't know if you can share it.
Yeah.
So I start working on this amazing Cubely, right? Beautiful Cubely. Like I start cutting the legs open. So I inspired myself, sadly, from a Mechanicore, and then afterwards I start inspiring myself from the original Cubely design and all the beautiful stuff. Guess what? There's a guy named Naoki that releases a custom build specifically as an homage to the Naoki thing. As I'm midway through my build, and I'm like, oh, fuck that. So I had to scratch that, right? Because it was basically me copying the top guy. So I had I think I had a month left of work to do. So I worked on. Can you reshare my normal screen?
No. What's normal screen?
Let me stop screen.
Hey, Talis
there
here.
You go. Can you?
Simon is back too. Hang on. Where's your? Oh, your screen. There you go.
Yeah, that's it. So I used the.
I want to see more of Ryan. But...
I used the. What is it again?
I remember that.
The Rinko Iori kit to make a Rinko Iori. That's the selling point right there. Right.
Oh, the paper bag. I really like that, especially the logo you made on that one. That's definitely the selling point on that one.
I wasn't talking about the paper bag.
You're talking about the ponytail. Oh my god, I love the detail of the ponytail. That is so dope.
So that was like a 2-week thing, and I won a few prizes for it, but like it did not impress the Kawaguchi, unfortunately.
Yeah, the gooch. You gotta impress the gooch. Yeah. Awesome.
So in 2019, what happened in 2019? Oh yeah,
No,
throw entry. Yeah,
it was a re-entry for you with that one, right?
Yeah, I think things broke or something, and it's been like, because okay, my philosophy is that to win GBWC, you need to give like your 200% of effort, and you need to succeed on it, right? You need to make sure that it's like the a win at every turn. But if you give your 200%, it's a high chance of failure, and that's what happened to me, unfortunately.
You got to get good, son.
Yeah, exactly, right. It's okay. 2020, I don't know. The next one, I'll be a top contestant. Yeah.
You're really talented, John. I know you can.
No, not that much. Like I've been just anyway.
I love your work.
I think stress paralyzes me. That could be it. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on there. So
just for the record, I've seen this guy stress, and he does persevere from it. I think you enjoy stress way too much, John. You gotta quit that. Because like every time we're like down to the crunch line, we're putting together a show. Out of nowhere, this guy's like, okay, and next thing I know, the whole show is filled up with words, and I'm like, what so you actually
we have 10 minutes left. Like, we've been prepping for like 2 weeks. We have 10 minutes left. Okay.
Yeah, and next thing I know, it's done, and I'm like, yeah, stress right there. Someone who does not know the word stress. 2019. Let's fast forward. 2019.
Where do you think his white hair comes from?
GBWC. GBWC champion, national finalist, the current and last GBWC finalist because of obviously pandemic and all that lockdown stuff. Nicolas Tejada Sánchez. That was the first Nicolas Tejada Sánchez you will hear tonight from me in a full name. But welcome, and again, congratulations on your win, representing Canada, and stepping up. With such a big shoes to fill. You have Simon Lamb, you have Ryan Lau's build, and then Nico out of nowhere gets a win on GBWC. Tell us your journey on that one, for your 2019 build.
Well, it all began with when I got second place in Montreal with the
Mark
previous
II.
build.
Yeah.
No, the
Oh, the ground Gundam or the EZ8 or they all look the same. Your Transformers totally all look the same, man.
Yeah, use the same kit. It's the same kit, but one is the EC8. The previous one was the RX-79G. But the thing is, when I got second place there, I got into the, oh man, these things I can maybe win. So I went with that state of mind for my next build, and on that one, I went thinking that I want to place at something. I want to win something there. I wanted to go there for the show and to see the friends like I always do and the whole thing, but I actually wanted to place this time. So, like I said, on the previous build, I learned that big projects take time. So I basically started working on mine on February of 2019. The competition, I think, is in September in Montreal. So I gave me that I gave me like 6 months to work on it, and I wanted to go bigger. And the MSO18, I don't know if I said that correct. Is
we have a Gundam going on with all the champions, eh? It's all UC builds. Zaku, Kshatriya, and then his Transformer, the EZ8.
Well, keep in mind the judges are very old school, right? So.
It wasn't. That could be true, but for me, it's because it belongs to one of the series that I like the most. And the same as you guys, like you said before, I like things that look realistic, but also I like things that will get weathered realistically in a way. So the MS team is when you see Gundams in the jungle, and there you can rust and get dirty and all that. So that's basically the kind of the inspiration. Also, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Like, I love Star Wars since I was a little kid, especially the ships and how dirty the ships are and how custom everything looks. Because you see that there was the ship, and then you add all this piping and all that stuff. Like the Millennium Falcon is full of custom jobs that Han Solo did to it. So I wanted to incorporate that as well. So like you have the basic mobile suit and belong to this pilot, but during the years, the pilot added things to it, or took off, stuff like that. So I went with that idea, and let's see where that goes. And I had plans. I had a basic idea of what I wanted.
Yeah.
But along the way, I was like, how in hell am I going to do it? I remember because me and Ariel, we used to hang out a lot. He would come to me.
We
to
still do,
meet,
for the record. But.
Yeah, we haven't done it much because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But I used to go to Toronto every weekend, and we will hang, and I will tell him, I want to do this, but I don't know how. You didn't help at all, but I will tell you my frustration.
I was totally useless altogether.
I was like, I want to add tracks to it, but I don't know how. Then in the next week, I will be like, oh, I saw somebody use the gun time. Maybe I will use that. Mm-hmm. So it was a whole evolution process. Mm-hmm. And it took me 6 months to build the thing. Wow. I took 2 small breaks where I did other builds, but at the end, I just went full throttle with it because I was running out of time. So you do need time to make some. If your project is big, it's good if you have a huge window of time to do it. So let me just share to you what the project was. So that's the thing.
Nice.
And as I was building it, I will be like, new ideas will pop into my head of, oh, maybe I can add more details to it and add this and add that. I also heard that in these kind of competitions, Bandai only allows Bandai things. But I will also hear that maybe if it is like 10% third party or whatever, but I didn't want to take a chance. So everything I used on this kit is from Bandai, not necessarily all Gundam stuff. There's a lot of Star Wars stuff there. But everything you see in there except the decals, it's made from Bandai.
Right.
Plastic.
Yeah. So you went with the rules. You definitely played with the rules on this one.
I'm a huge fan of Gribbles, so I added a lot of those here. I managed to create this with the tank. If you see here, I managed to fuse them together, so that was kind of a unique thing. I was very proud with this build. I actually made what I wanted to make. So it was a cool thing. When I went to Montreal with it, I was expecting to place, but I was never expecting to win. I wanted to place. That was like my main focus of it. Mm-hmm. But when I ended up winning first prize in Montreal, that was really exciting. And then when I got the call that I actually won the whole thing, oh, it was even better.
Nice.
It was huge.
I took the shot with the Gooch.
That was in Montreal. Yes.
That was the Montreal one. Yep.
I was so fat.
Yeah, you still are. Okay, let's continue. So after winning, you flew this out with you. Yeah.
This is a picture. Actually, I think Sin took this picture when she went to Montreal to Japan. And
yeah, shout out to Sin, by the way. I saw her on the chat. A couple of chats. Cindy, Sin. I am Sin.
Oh yes, I get it now. Yeah. Okay.
She took this picture of it, and it was pretty cool. So when I saw this picture that she took, I was like, oh, thank God, it hasn't fallen yet. It's still standing. So in terms of hiccups with the build, though, because I had to take this to Montreal, I planned to do it in sections. Like I will have the tracks I could take off. This will be one piece, and then the Gundam will be one piece. But I took it in 4 different carbon boxes to Montreal on the train. So that's as far as I thought about having to disassemble this thing. So I never thought, how would I take it to Japan if I ever made it there? Exactly. And when I got the call, I was like, I remember after celebrating, the second thing that went into my mind is like, how in hell am I gonna take this there? Because I'm not gonna go on a plane with 4 carbon boxes like I did to Montreal. So. Exactly. I had to. It became a rush because I only had like 3 months to plan this thing, so I had to first of all find a hard case, look for it all over the place. I had to buy the foam on the side, the perfect foam to cut it, and let me show you a picture of that. And then like you guys said, as soon as I won, I got an invitation to a chat.
Was it David?
Mm,
David's just collecting people. He's not even in the champions list. He's like, I'm gonna still do it.
no, it was a guy from Australia. But I got the invitation.
Simmons.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as soon as I went, I got the invitation from, and I remember in the chat, they will discuss how to take it, how to pack and everything, and I was like, you have to make a manual to describe how to put it on, how to put everything together, and how to put it apart, because they are the guys who are gonna do it afterwards. So this is a pic of the.
Oh Jesus, that's impressive.
It's 2 levels. There's one on the.
Yeah.
And this was a project. This took me like 3 days after I got all the elements to manage to do it.
Wow.
But this was the most stressful thing for me, is to how am I going to take this? And I managed to as a carry-on, but still I will be carrying it like it's like the Holy Grail. I wouldn't even carry it like this, like a suitcase. I will be like this. Put it on the plane, like really careful, everything.
If you want, can you actually go and pick it up yourself if you want?
If I want,
you have to fly all the way out there, and then it's gonna be in Japan, man.
No, because I had to leave it there.
Whatever.
I had to leave it there for 3 months.
Yeah, and you come back in 3 months and pick it up. Can you?
I'm sure you could arrange that. I'm sure.
I think so.
If you were,
I think so. The thing is, Japan is far.
Yeah,
it's so far.
I mean,
and I also had a thing similar to what Ryan was saying. When I got to the airport in Japan, I had to open the case, and they were like, "What is in here?" And the guy, and I would be saying, "I'm going to the GWC," and he was like, "What?" So when I opened it, I opened the case, the security guy was like, "Oh, Gundam, yes, I used to build this when I was younger, yeah."
Security guys and Gundams, they know what's up.
That's it.
They know exactly what's up, guys.
Also, I was very lucky that Tim Child Mecha was on the same flight that I was in.
Right.
So he explained a whole bunch of things, and I didn't get lost in the airport. So
nice.
Awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oops, not me. This guy. Awesome. So John, where are we at? That was awesome, Nico. And again, like going in there 2019, what was it like? Can you describe like your first day or like your weekend there briefly on like the major points on it?
I only stayed there for 3 days. Bandai will only give you the ticket for free to you, and you can only stay there for the duration of the event. If you want to stay extra, you have to pay extra. So I paid an extra day. So I got there on Friday, and immediately that day we went out, me with Tim, and we were meeting Zach and some other people. Oh, and Aaron from Australia. We were meeting them at a bar. So we drank, we went around, and it was fun because in Japan you can actually drink outside alcohol. So we went to a 7-Eleven, bought alcohol in a 7-Eleven. And we were walking the streets of Tokyo drinking. And Zach was being our tourist guide.
Oh, nice.
We had fun. It was fun. What Tim said before in one of his interviews, that he took us through a scary alley, and we managed to get to a shrine in the middle of nowhere. It's true. It was very scary, very dark, and there was a shrine at the end of the tunnel.
Nice. All right, guys. So we're gonna start with a small roundtable, right, of questions about your GBWC experience and your GBWC.
Before we get to that, I just want to say hi to everybody who's been chatting, because like it's been blowing up. We had David B. We have Tao all the way in Vietnam. Hi. Hobbyworks Randy in Philippines. McDio, Manny over there in New York. Neon Wave in Quebec land.
Montreal.
Hero here in Toronto. Sid, there she is. I saw her earlier on, scrolling by. Guys, thank you for tuning in. And again, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe to follow us in our new future episodes. But yeah, we have some amazing talent here. We're going to do some roundtable, as John mentioned, for a couple of questions.
Yeah. And, I mean, there's a lot of questions that a lot of people are asking about GBWC, right? And it's a recurring theme, a lot of stuff that people want to know, because it's such a... The information is not out there. It's mostly like a word of mouth. Like everybody learns a few things from like the other contestants, from like experienced builders and everything. But I mean, you guys probably know more than most. and I think we can answer a few questions like about the rules and regulations. How would you describe the top 10 rules that you need to obey to enter a certain competition like that, right? I think we have, what do we have? We have no bootleg at all, absolutely no bootleg, right?
No IP infringement.
Yes.
No,
so we're talking about you can't enter like a Batman kit or anything that resembles an intellectual property of any kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The size restriction is a must.
Yeah. 50 centimeter by 50 centimeter by 50 centimeter. I've seen a lot of people accidentally go over that or slightly. I think there was this build 2019 which was like, I don't know if you've seen the tower, and there was like Jeggins or Jestas that were sliding down the tower with gravity.
Yeah,
This was an
Australia.
amazing
I think that was
build.
2018 actually. Yeah, it was an amazing build, but it was too big.
Yeah, exactly. So unfortunately,
just want to do a quick shout out to Skyers. He's here too.
Hey Mike.
Hey Mike, how's it going?
yeah.
Oh, we do have a question as well.
Question. Have you all started your next GBWC build?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Rewind about an hour ago. Go through all of them. Okay, we're good. We're good. Sorry. Go on with your question there, John.
Yeah, basically that's it. We you want to answer the question if we all started at GBWC? I mean, we all
Nico,
did.
what do we got? Hang on.
I got something that I learned while I was there. Not necessarily like a specific rule, but something that I saw when I brought my build there is, and it's similar to what Simon said about his. When I got there, mine was so tiny compared to the other builds that were there.
Like not a rule, but an unwritten rule. That is a good one. What are the unwritten rule of GBWC?
You have to make something that will turn heads. It's the wow factor, I guess. And size matters there. Mine, I thought it was big. And because it's master grade and I added a base and everything, it was kind of tall. But when I put it inside the big glass case, if you look at the picture, it looks so tiny that ain't a lot of space. And every other build, even the junior builds that some kids brought, they were gigantic. Mine wasn't easy to put on the display. It took me like 35 minutes. Also because a lot of the pieces fell, so I had to glue stuff while I was there, sweating my ass off with stress. But I saw other people which took hours to put their stuff together. There was this guy who, I think the winner, assembling that fish. Just looking at it, I was getting an anxiety. But
so do you guys find if you guys are re-entering your GBW, if you guys are planning to re-enter GBWC, and with all the things you've learned, size obviously is one of the big factors. Is that the driving force now of what you guys are doing?
It's big, yes, but it makes sense.
I think one of the biggest that people might not notice is they're very selective in how they choose the winners. So I know, and John touched on this briefly already, that as much as this is an international modeling competition, unfortunately it is Bandai, and it is basically like a marketing thing for them as well too. And so your choice of kit is important, very important. Secondly is if there's a similar winner in a different country who built a certain kit, they usually will not choose that same kit. So say, for example, if I was working on the PG Unleashed, right? And if Japan's winner is a PG Unleashed, 100% I won't win, because they don't want two PG Unleashed entries in the same competition. So that's why the pick of your kit is pretty important, or even the theme. Like say, for example, if you have a samurai theme, and if another person does a samurai theme, they're only going to choose one of the two. You know, or for example, your general composition, right? My year there was Hong Kong that had like that big head, amazing, you know, by Manson.
The Char head, Char helmet.
The Char head.
Yeah,
and then in I believe in Malaysia, I think, or in Malaysia, Indonesia, I forgot. But there was an entry that was looking similar composition where there was a GPO3 head and then a GPO2.
Yes.
And so
right,
entry was also very amazing. But because it's very similar in terms of that, so those are kind of unwritten rules, but it kind of makes sense too, because when they're showing all the entries, you don't want kind of, two that are so similar or two exact same suits, but made differently. So unfortunately, even though those may be like amazing in quality, and those are, right? Sometimes that's just that edge that the judges might choose, or at least the local Japanese judges.
It segues perfectly to David B as a question here. What is the judging criteria in the competition?
I think
it depends. It depends on the year.
But there's always like main criteria that are just like said, not the one that are not said, because that's internal to Bandai. They have like certain they have an agenda, right? But the three rules are usually craftsmanship, paint, and originality.
Yeah, creativity.
Right? Yeah, creativity. Yeah.
So, and one question as well, and this is an interesting one. I'm going to go to each one of you guys, and if you could briefly answer it. The question is, what grade do you recommend for GBWC? Again, subjective, but if you were to choose, I'm going to rephrase it. If you were to choose your entry for you or someone, I guess recommendation, what would your starting base would be? Let's start with Simon on that one.
Sure. Now, originally I would say perfect grade. But now that I would probably go with mega size, just for the fact that it's actually you actually have more room to work on when it comes to the mega size. Yeah, because a lot of times when you build something for a competition, you don't want it to look too good from the get-go, right? But it can show that I've made the changes. Yeah.
That's what a lot of people say about old build versus new build. So the more recent one have so much detail. They're like, you can't use them as base for your kits. You need to choose an older build, which is are like empty canvases, right? Exactly like you were saying. Like
let's go, space. Nico, on that one. If you were to choose a base or recommend a base, what would you say?
In terms of scale, make it that it looks big. I will say master grade would be like a good place to start. But you can also use high grade, but that depends on the composition that you're going to make. For example, the guy who won second place last year, he used high grade size.
Oh, no, sorry. Your year or last year?
My year, last year.
Yeah.
What he did is it's like an arena where there was like a wrestling kind of match going on, and all the figures that he used were 144 scale.
Eric, yeah.
The year the year I participated. Yeah. So each one was 144, but the composition of what he was making made it was big. Yeah. The base was the perfect grade unicorn base, but in that way, 144 I think worked. In that sense, but if you're doing, for example, a diorama of actual Gundam size characters, but you're using 144, that might be little too small, and you end up having like a battlefield with a whole bunch of things. I don't know. As long as what you're using allows you to do a composition that looks big.
Yeah. Who was it again? It was the Mecha painter, Hein. He basically used, I think, 30 Zakus that led up to one Astria or Nexia, which made a beautiful master. So the concept of having many high grade or real grade into a one set, it's the overall size that matters, right? If you have one kit, like you said, mega size that takes out the entire display, that's great. But if you can fill the space, no empty space is allowed, right? You need to every single turn you look, every single angle, you need to see something impressive. And I think that's I think that's the way. I never won, so I don't know, but that's what I've been noticing.
You can use whatever scale you want in terms of your elements, as long as the final composition is big. It shows in big scale. That because everybody else is gonna do something huge. That's what I saw when I was there. And
yeah, that's it. But I've been noticing like a lot of the winners, like you've probably seen what is it again? Like the massive Exia, the massive what is it again? Like the what is it? Unicorn that won, the purple unicorn, the purple.
One thing.
The Banshee.
Yeah, the Banshee. Yeah, the Banshee that won in the Japanese village.
Australia.
That one. Australia, that was like a massive one, right?
Yeah.
So.
For example, you guys remember the guy who won in the Black Exia that is like in a tunnel?
Yeah, that's my year.
Oh yeah, that was a winner.
Yeah. So when I saw that the first time, I thought that was a perfect grade. Because they still have it, they have it on a special display in Gundam base. It's still there. so I got to see it. And it's a master grade, small. It's big, but it was
Actually,
way
that
smaller
one is
than I
perfect
thought.
grade. That one was perfect grade.
No,
Yeah.
no, it was.
Oh, you've seen the build, Ryan?
Yeah, that was my year. Yeah.
Okay. How did it
Yeah,
look?
that was
the
Ryan's
carbon
year.
fiber.
Yeah.
It was
Because I
impressive.
remember-
Like, yeah, because that is the
What I
most
know-
recent.
It was amazing.
I thought if it was what I thought it was going to be bigger than what I saw. It was smaller
Right.
in size,
Yeah.
but still super impressive. The way he did the force perspective and
It's
everything,
amazing.
it was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, that one was perfect grade. Yeah.
Sorry, let's. I just want to circle back. We're gonna keep on pace. Sorry, guys. We're gonna get more questions. There's a lot of questions. Yeah, we got a lot of questions, guys. But just to answer that one here, real quick. Recommendation for scale. This is going to Ryan Lau.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I was gonna say mega size, but after hearing Simon speak, I think I'm going to 1/35th scale, man. I'm just kidding.
Jumbo size. and like-
101,
I was laughing
101.
so hard.
Hey,
Simon,
for the
I was
record, I'm working on a 120 right now.
yeah,
101.
that's true.
Oh my
1
God!
to 1
1 scale.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
to one
Okay.
size. Come on. But
So,
no, it's
yeah.
really interesting because before. Sorry, I'll just do a really quick thing. Before the days of E-Day, there's something to be said about smaller scales too, because you can really see how amazing the craftsmanship is. For example, in E-Day's win, right, world champion win, he used smaller than 1/44th. Actually, it was like 1/200th almost, I think. But he built it to be mass, like but it's really tiny, right? So obviously he gets extra points there because to work at such a tiny scale to do such clean work is a whole different level of skill, right? But you guys are generally right. Like the entries are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and people are pouring more and more kind of details into it. So I think you can go either way. So I would say ideally maybe master grade would be probably the most ideal size, but you know, and also the most common. But honestly, I think you can go any size. I competed in 1/44. But yeah, perfect grade, master grade, mega size, all can work. So yeah.
All right. So scale is important, and sizing is definitely important. I want to size you guys up, all three of you guys, but I can't do it because it's too biased. Because I love all you guys. I'm gonna need some assistance on this one. I just want to welcome a couple of my friends, if that's okay. It's gonna bring in Nate and Chow in the mix here.
Oh my goodness!
So
Yeah,
for those of you guys watching, our guests, our champions did not know that our current new guest, Xiao Yang, as well as Nate He.
My favorite judge.
I've invited
Exactly.
them today. They were part of the GBWC judging for the East events here in Quebec. I go Montreal. For them, it will be Montreal. Otakuton, Xiao, and Nate. Actually, all these guys have all been in Fear Builder. Look at that. I caught them all. My bingo is all perfect.
No, except sorry, not here.
Yeah, but you're not a real builder, John. So I'm kidding.
Oh.
We're gonna talk about that.
You should
Nate-
you should be able to mute him.
No, that's
I'm
he's
the operator.
That's
He's
what
the
I'm saying.
operator.
You should be able to have that power.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll mute him at the next competition. You'll look at my bill. It's like,
Let's just build something that we can crush him with.
I think all you guys crush my build. I am not a builder by far.
That's
I'm
gonna
just
be
some
my,
guy.
my only purpose on my next participation on GWC is what can I build so I can crush Ariel?
yeah, exactly. But yeah,
I think
so
any build. Yeah. Go
we
on, John.
invited our friend Xiao and Nate to judge our winners, the elite of Canada, right? So the best judge in the country versus the best builders in the country.
Ooh.
So-
Just a little premise before those who guys who don't know who they are. Brief
Yeah.
introduction.
I
Why don't we
don't put
start?
myself one of the best. I don't put
Why don't
myself
we
in
do
one
a-
of the best.
Hey, you're current champion 3 years straight. 2 years? 3 years now. 2 years. 3 years. Something like that. Because no one has toppled yet. Quick introduction for Xiao. You've judged for IPMS. You're part of the IPMS on the East. Can you tell us a little bit more, who you are and what the hell you're doing here? Okay.
Yeah, before I start, just want to ask you one question. Where's your wig?
Yeah.
What's what?
No.
Oh,
The wig.
Happy April Fool's. So if you guys did not see, check out my Instagram and my Facebook.
That's gonna come back and that's gonna come back and haunt you. It's on the web. It's there forever.
I'm
Yeah.
cute as hell. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I was about to hit you. Okay. All right.
Shall go on.
So I'm serving as the judge for GBWC in 2017 because I'm part of the organizers GUNPLA Montreal. So I think I'm the only one with the competition experience there. So they recommend me to Plamo, ask Plamo if I'm qualified to be the judge, and they agreed. So 2017, I took part in the judge team, and on the side with me was Lu Huang from Sci-Fi Anime, the local sponsor, and Mr. Kawakuchi, which is he's gonna judge online. That's for 2017. And 2018, because Kawakuchi was in illness, and so I soloed the judge team in 2018. And 2019, we basically, since Kawakuchi is here personally, so we're just on the side assistant, and basically learn from him, which like what he took, which he's the judging criteria for the judging the competitions.
So Xiao guys is official and can't judge, and we will be doing some judging session with these guys here. Up next, Nate He. How's it going, Nate? Oh my God, I'm like, oh my God, I just can't talk. Thank you for joining us. Again, former feature builder as well as GBWC helper judge for the East Coast. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and just a brief so that people could understand where your POVs are for the judging?
So I've been building GUNPLA for, I think, for a while now, like over building models in general for over something like 10 years. GUNPLA for a bit less. I think I started GUNPLA in like 2010. So actually, no, it's been about 10 years. So I, like Xiao, I was also invited to be the judge for the Eastern Division of GBWC in 2019. And was very lucky to be learning alongside Meijin Kawaguchi there when he went to Montreal. And the idea was that, you know, if there is a future GBWC where Meijin cannot participate, cannot come to Canada, then, you know, his representatives in the country, being me and Xiao and our friend Emil, who's not here with us, but he's actually the representative of the local IPMS. We would then take him to be his representative to judge for GBWC. So in 2019, it was very much like a crash course for me and Xiao to actually learn like how Meijin approaches judging for GBWC. Because you know, we've all been building models before. I've done, you know, IPMS competitions, not many compared to Xiao. I've only like won like once. So you know, I've experienced the share of like the competition environment when it comes to model making. So to be on the other end of it, it was like a very completely new experience. You know, prior to that point, we had ideas on like what to look for, but you know, with Meijin, we actually got more interesting like hints on how to make the best decision on which is the best model.
Right on. So I guess it's going to be a good spectrum of judges here. So what we're going to do is going to be a fun, quick game here.
Yeah.
We have here the entries. So these are all the national, official national win model kit. So we're starting with Simon Lamb with his Johnny Ridden custom, which is the Zaku custom. This is 2017. Then we have Ryan Lau with the Kshatriya. 2018. Kshatriya. Oh my God. I can't talk tonight, guys. I need some more beer or something. And lastly, 2019 with Nicolas Tejada Sanchez's Easy 8 final mission. Looking good there. Okay, so how do you guys want to do this? I really am kind of curious, like how have you guys talked before the show about how you so this is all your perspective on this, eh? Okay,
this is exciting.
I know.
I'm so scared.
So who do you guys want to start with? Should we start with like both of you guys kind of doing a quick summary and then
so who wants to go first? Xiao, do you want to go first or I go first?
Well, I can list my first top 3 pick, and you can go for your top three pick, and then we can go over reason one by one.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh no, we can't announce the winners. Okay, we announce the winners first. Okay.
No.
Or do you want to do that at the end? We just give our we give our feedback for each of them.
Yeah, that's it. You get the winner at the end. Right?
Let's go with that.
I just want to say that was Ariel's idea. I just put you under the bus. Put you under the bus.
All right, let's go. So how are we doing this? We are going to talk about the builds first, overall impressions, and then we will find your top 3 at the end. That's I think what we're going to do, right? Okay. So why don't we start with the first build? We should start with the first. We'll go backwards. 19. It doesn't matter which way we're going to go. So a couple of points, starting with Xiao on the 2019 pros and cons.
So 2019 was like really amazing build with Nicolas stuff, really well weathered, and the custom of the base is like really interesting. Like I like how he used all different various kind of Star Wars kit and Gundam combined into like a mobile platform things. And the Gundam itself, the EZ8 is like all the details add up. It's like I see a lot of potential like kit bashing, and I believe Bandai loves that because that's a lot of kit buying stuff, and which means a lot of money going to the Bandai. And also scale-wise, the weathering is not really naturalistic, and it's really well controlled. Unlike the stuff you built before, it's like out of control, but this one is under control. And and also it's like really impressive, stand out. I remember it's like in the competition in 2019. It's like when Kawakuchi walked in the room and his first glass is land on this build. So it's like really attractive stuff, and it has the storytelling. It's like the mechanism is maintaining the suits, and that's what my comment.
Nice. Let's go to the following one. Oh, sorry. But before we go that, we go to Nate. What's your comment on this one? And we're just gonna go backwards and flip between the two.
All right. So I was lucky to be present with Xiao, and when we saw like Meijin judge this build in person in 2019, and we've been talking about Meijin Kawaguchi a lot today, and I do have a surprise for you.
That we cut him off. Yeah. What was the surprise, Nate?
So I do have Meijin Kawaguchi himself on call right now.
Bull.
And look at Ariel muting everybody.
Get out.
I'm just kidding. It's April Fool's.
Oh
my God! I'm out. Oh my God!
Oh my God! Ariel, I think Ariel peed his pants.
I did. It was pee of joy. Holy shit!
We saw an opportunity and we took it. Okay. So,
oh my God! Well played. Well played.
All right. Okay. Back to business.
This April Fool's thing is meta. By the way, April Fool's was like bringing these two guys in here, but like, we're going super meta now. All right, let's go, Nate. Let's go.
The April Fool's bringing April Fool. Nice.
So, Nico, I love, like Xiao said, your application of detail on your build, especially like the use of like all these super detailed Star Wars kits as kit bashing Ghibli, all over the GUNPLA. And I love the fact that you were able to disguise the Ghiblis in such a way that they're not obviously like parts from Star Wars. And I think John and you and I, we sort of had this this conversation like previously. I don't remember when, but you said to me that like a good kit bash is something where you don't necessarily recognize where their parts are from. And it just makes the whole build look very natural. And I think you have that going on here. Love the detail in the base. Love how you use the two little, I think the gun cannon, the two gun tanks. And put them together, baller-esque platform, which is super, super cool. And then at the same time, this elevates the model above the table, right? Because usually you see like a custom base, it's on the table. And so that's super cool. And again, like Xiao said, a lot of the things I wanted to say is so the weathering I found was very, very well done. And I think you mentioned to us that this was done with spray cans, right? With Tamiya spray cans. I don't think did you use it?
I think it was cans and dry brushing a lot. And,
Okay.
And then pastels
pigments.
and what. I just want to say something about this. When in 2018, when I did my previous build, I remember I talked to you guys before after the competition.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
No. And I asked, what could I do better for the next? And I got the advice to like more impressive. I don't quite remember what it was, but I took that to heart to do it on this one. And I remember that I did this, and I did the same thing with this one. And I remember the advice that I got for this is that next time I like your build, but make him posing, like do a pose instead of just being static. So that's what I'm taking in account now for the new one that I'm trying to make now. So I take that because this one I appreciate all the comments, but it still is like a statue. So my next challenge is to do something like this, but also to achieve a pose, action pose.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, thank you.
All right. Nice. Nate, anything else on this? We're gonna go to the next one.
You can go to the next one. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go backwards. Nate, you'll start, and then we'll pass it back to Xiao. Let's start with go for it, man.
So this is
Ryan Lau, 2018.
So yeah, this I actually love Ryan how you when Nico talked about the importance of having a good pose, right? I think this is just picture perfect there. I love how you really caught, like a moment in time of seeing the mobile suit in action. The fact that he's not static at all; he's jumping into action, and the way you pose his arm with the sword. And I love how the little detail that you put that the blade of the beam saber isn't actually straight; it's actually a bit curved, so that I'm not sure plastic was molded like that, or maybe you bent it a little bit. But it makes it look like, it's in animation when you see a beam saber being like swung, right? It's not necessarily straight. The beam is like curved. So all these little the detail really helps sell the action, iconic action pose of this entry. So that's what I love about it. And the fact that you did so many modifications to each of the parts of the Kshatriya, because the actual HG kit was cool, but it was missing a lot of detail, and it was a really good blank canvas for people to make modifications. And I remember following you on Instagram and how you were able to list your work in progress one by one. I found that super, super cool. And a special mention, I think, is how you were able to, I think you made one of the legs of the Kshatriya was from Rababatos, I think, if I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
everybody remembers because I'm thinking the exact same thing, and it's like this guy here with the Barbados feet.
Barbados.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Barbados.
Yeah, I found that super creative, and it's all these unexpected kit bash. When you
the cliffhanger on that is amazing.
When you blend them in a good way, it really helps to sell the kit.
It's a beautiful. It's a beautiful one.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Nate. Let's go to Xiao on that one. Thoughts and comments on this amazing build.
Okay, so I remember last year when we talked to Kawaguchi himself, and I remember one thing he pointed out is really good. And you in your build, especially when you're building a diorama, if you want to present a story, then everything in the diorama needs to interact with each other. So, for example, in Ryan's build, as Nate mentioned, the blade is the curve. So it represents he just swaps something and it's matched with the explosion on in the behind, and which is explains what kind of stories happen in this dioramas, and also the skills of all the details, so which brings out the quality of this build as well. So the only cons I can think of right now is maybe on the base there's a little bit empty. If you look at this photo from this angle, it's it feels like a little bit empty. It's but if you look at from the other angles, which is if you're facing the Kshatriya This is from the back, which is also good angles. But if you're looking for the front, which means that's going to be a really good shot for this build. Yeah, that's what's my comment on this one. But overall, this is going to be like this. This is my favorite for all three.
Well, geez, just give it away.
This is my favorite.
Awesome. Let's go to the 2017, the OG winner. We'll start with Xiao and then work our way to Nate afterwards. Thoughts and comments on this build?
Yeah, so Simon's build is I have to put into the background of 2017, because 2017 is the first year of all when Canada got its own GBWCs. And
you set the benchmark, right? So that's
so I remember what happened back there during Otakuton is the overall quality is quite disappointing. I would say that out loud. It's like, yeah, that was like huge thin line on the back, right?
Oh god,
He remembers.
Oh yeah, he mentions it every week.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Ariel, don't forget, make it awesome like your 2017 build, but like awesomer. Oh, okay, thanks, Xiao.
So it's like up to judging, it's like kind of losing hope doing back in 2017. It's like, do we really have some good builders in here in Canada? But when we saw Simon's builds, like we have a hope.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Episode 4, A New Hope, Simon Lamb.
So basically,
it's a great build. I love this build.
Oh, it's okay. Can I say my judging after? Like,
yeah, sure. I guess like we're gonna go to all three, or yours?
This is for me the benchmark of weathering. Like it's.
I think we should show Simon's cycle
for most of the build, and what I see from here is like the cannons is like really eye-catching with all the shadings and the highlighting on the panels with the different colors. So it's like it attracts eyeballs on the builds. Not only the cannons, but also on the mobile suit itself with all the details, and we can see how much effort the people Simon put on this one. And
nice.
so basically 2017 maybe it's a pity, but Simon got lucky. He had the price to pay for that. That's my comments.
It's it's honestly my benchmark of detailing of my my regular builds. I think that's my benchmark, right? In terms of details and in terms of weathering, that's for me. I mean, that's my what I'm aiming for.
Yep. And if you add 2 parachutes to this and put a stand, it almost looks like airdrop. But anyways, that's just my take on it. Hi Tim. Hi Tim. What's up? Awesome. Thank you for that, Xiao. Let's go to Nate. What do we got for you for your comments and thoughts on Simon's OG build here?
So funny story is that I think for that year when Simon entered his build, I wasn't part of the judging committee yet for GBWC Otaku-san. So I actually had to like communicate via my back channels because I have friends who were like or organizing GBWC at Otaku. Who
you were still part of the boys judging panel.
Yeah.
You know?
So, like
what? Hang on, what?
The GB underground.
Yeah, like the underground boys judging things, going around talking about each build. And,
yeah. And I actually had to bring up some because I was curious too. Like, I saw the entries from Otaku-san, but I wanted to see the entries from the web, from the other parts of the country. So then, a few weeks later, when they actually announced, we're about to announce the winner, a friend of mine shared with us like some images of the entire entry for Canada. And in there, I was scrolling, and then I came upon Simon's build. I didn't know Simon personally at the time. And when I saw the build, my reaction was really like, holy crap, like we actually have like Japanese level talent here in Canada. Because before that, like the Canadian building level, I don't want to say up to par with Japan, but maybe we
nice.
As advanced as some of the other entries around the world. So I was worried that maybe the Canadian winner is not going to be stand out amongst the other entries around the world. But when I saw this Red Zaku, I had hope. Like Xiao said, like, oh my god, it's like we actually have really advanced builder that we didn't know about. And I love how you really brought out the subtle details of the Zaku. The kit bashes that you did for the backpack, right? I recognize some parts from the I think the GP02, if I'm not wrong. And of course you have the giant cannon there. And what's really eye-catching for me from that picture was that you took the effort of highlighting the red bands on the weapon itself. So it's not just a massive hulk of like gray, right? So so that's really great. I've never seen this build in person. I would love to see it in person, but just from the pictures, I really love like the combination of red, yellow.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it really stands out. So and of course the base being standard action base, I like how you put in the effort to put some more mechanical details to dress it up. So,
right, the base here, yeah. All you guys have amazing bases, by the way, and I love how even though they're, it's similar in nature, as in it's like supposed to be just a background, you guys made it part as a harmonic thing of your build. Amazing build.
Your base was amazing too, Ariel.
Yeah, it was done by freaking world champion guy here that weathers a lot. Awesome, Nate. Do you have anything else to add on that one, or are we good?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So what I'm going to do is gonna have them all lined up. Let's see if I can do that. And that way we could just share with everyone side by side. Totally. This is all winging it, guys. We're winging it tonight. All right. Let's see if I could make Simon's fit in.
That's what
Ish. And Ryan.
I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna tell you this. Of what I see of all the builds, I think ours in all three still were very small compared to the things that we saw there in Japan. I don't know.
Yeah. So before we get to Nate's and Xiao's, obviously their picks, I actually want to ask Simon, Ryan, and Nico to kind of say a little bit about the other builds in a way that's if like you were there, you guys all were there. Like, what are your thoughts on their builds? Open forum. Let's start with Nico on this one.
Well, like I said, I saw when I saw Simon's build was at that competition. I didn't know about GWC yet, but
GBWC.
I remember GBWC. I remember that you brought this one and you brought the Zazabi that you did. You brought those two.
Right.
Yeah. And like I said, I immediately, like, when I look at this, I was like, oh, I wish I could make it to that level at some point. It was great. So
awesome.
It not only is a great build, but in terms of personal opinion, it marked a point in my builder life, because I remember that was the first time that I went like, oh, wow, that's amazing. You can do that kind of stuff.
Awesome.
Wow. I'm not talking about his Titan afterwards, because that's a total different.
Oh, we're gonna get to that in a couple of minutes. How about Ryan's though?
Oh man, that one, no words. Amazing. It was great. I also was, because I was following this build, so I saw all the posts that you were doing before and after, like you still do, right? Yeah. I was like, oh, I cannot do that. Oh, no way. That's amazing, and I think you got 4th place in Japan, I believe.
Yeah,
he was totally the record highest right now for Canada in placement as a global, right?
Totally deserved. You totally deserve it. It's the posing, especially the action pose that you managed to do there. And the explosion, everything.
Awesome. Let's go with Simon talking about Ryan's and Nico's build. Simon, what's your take?
Sure. Now, Ryan's build. Now, first of all,
well, my wife doesn't really care what I do, so she doesn't pay attention to my builds. But she saw me. I spent a year on my cycle in 2018, and then I would, like Ryan said, we're on the same chat group, so we kind of see each other's work in progress all the time. And she saw the explosion of character from Ryan. She basically like, I would want that one more than yours. And I was like, really? Like that's the kind of support I get?
Tell me more, Simon. What else did she say to you? No, that's therapy session.
Unfortunately, I had to agree. Yeah, I really love his build. The fact that the base is on an angle, it's really dynamic. I like that. Everybody pointed out the beam was on a curve. With the explosion, it really stands out. Like it has that wow factor that when you look at it, you don't have to spend a minute trying to study. You look at it and you go, wow, this is really cool. I think that's one of the things that's really important when you do a GWC build, because the judge, the whole judging thing happened in a day. They might not have a lot of time to really study your build, see what you really have done. So you kind of have that wow, the first impression impact built into your build too. And that actually applies to Nico's build as well. Now, he has the ability to add Greeblies from Star Wars that it looks like they're not from Star Wars. So kudos to Nico. And he's always been good with his weathering. And I think with this build, he really take it to the extreme. Like really show us for this type of weathering what can be achieved. And it works out really excellent. And the base it's like it's a really good trick. Like I look at it and say, hey, that's a 2-pack altogether. That's really neat. So again, that goes into the wow factor as well. Yeah. So kudos to those 2 builds. Really love them.
Awesome. Thank you, Simon. Yeah.
You know, Simon, what if it makes you feel better? When my girlfriend saw your build, she said exactly the same. Like I like his more than yours.
I see a trend here.
This is getting awkward.
Ryan Lau, last batter on deck for Simon's and Nico's build. What are your thoughts on their builds, man?
Okay, so in Simon's year, I entered online as well too, and so I was really eager to know who the winners were. And so I remember when it was finally announced, right? And I immediately look on the website, and I saw I was placed second that year in the online competition. And I was like, oh, I got second. Awesome. I want to see the first place. And so I remember seeing the first place and I was like, oh, dang, like I can see why that one won. And so immediately, kind of like what Nate was talking about too, like when you're flipping through, because I was following along the live competitions as well too. And so I remember seeing the live competitions, and at the time we weren't in our friend group, or we weren't talking at all, Simon and I. And so I had no idea what the competition online would be, right? And so anyways, seeing Simon's build, I was like, oh wow, like you've mentioned many times about the perfect balance of weathering, and I can see it so evidently in that build there. And so I think in terms of the build and the execution of it, it's flawless. Like I really love that balance that Simon achieved in his build there. So amazing build, Simon. I love it. And I also, as a side note, Simon, I went to a model store in Toronto. Do you remember when I went to Toronto, I think 2 years ago or something?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then,
I remember that.
Yeah. And then you told me about the model store, and then I stopped in, right? And a couple of your works were displayed. And I remember seeing your, is it the Sahelanthropus that you built?
Oh,
yes.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember like I was, because you always hear, like builds in pictures are completely different than when you see it in person, right? And similar to what Nico said too, like I was looking at your Sahelanthropus build, and I was like, dang, like this is really good, right? Like your camo pattern. I mean, it has nothing to do with this, but it goes to show that your craftsmanship and painting is top notch, world class. I mean, the scary thing is you've only gotten better since.
Exactly.
So that is exactly. Like the viewers who see this right now, it's like this is like Simon has improved leagues and leagues beyond this now. But anyways, Yeah, so I really respect your craftsmanship, Simon, and I think you did an excellent job on this entry. Nico, I think Xiao mentioned it really well when he mentioned how when Kawaguchi entered the room and immediately his eyes were drawn to your entry. And so, echoing what Simon said, I always tell people in competition builds, one of the most important things is that wow factor. You want people to draw their eyes to your entry just at a glance. And so I think you really achieved this here. I saw a lot of other entries, the live entries, at the live competition. And honestly, like when you're just flipping through them, they look the same. But then when you look at this one, it's so different, than other typical Gunpla builds. And so I think you really had this going for you there. And so I really appreciate, kind of the wow factor that you have in your piece. I use the exact same base for my GM Sniper 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to flip it.
Exactly. Yeah, I noticed it. And I mean, honestly, like you've modded it to the point where you can't tell that it is actually that same base. So kudos to you, and kind of like it's mentioned many times, using the Star Wars Greeblies, right, to add and enhance the piece. So I think it was a great work there. So yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
I think in summary, we're all champions here, so there's no like first, second, and third. But
it is. You guys are awesome. But however, we're gonna choose a winner. So I'm kidding. God. Guys. Again, you guys have already won. You guys have placed again amazing work. We all know this. But I am kind of curious, since we have all three displayed here right now on the chat too. Let me know what you guys are favorite. Now 1, 2, 3. But let's hear from our judges, our unofficial official judges here. Your top picks. Let's start with Nate, and then we're gonna go to Xiao on this one.
Okay.
Nate, your pick.
So,
No pressure.
yeah. So,
you're gonna make one friend, and you're gonna make 2 enemies. I guarantee you that right now. So
it's okay. We all know this. So, all right. So just as a quick word, each of these entries have already been judged before, so we won't go through nitpicking all the little flaws and everything, because it's all been done. And for us, for me, anyways, my perspective is the decision process is basically which one has the best wow factor, and I will make my decision from there. And it's hard. Ultimately, it's so hard to pick a favorite amongst these 3, because we're all experienced in our own ways. Everybody has their own area of expertise, has their own style. So to compare them one against each other is very, very difficult task. So guys, please don't think of this as a judging. It's more as a peer commentary, a peer review on my part.
Absolutely. Think about it like that, guys.
Yeah.
Go on.
I think my favorite one out of the 3 is Ryan's build, is the Kshatriya. Because just by looking at it from, like I said before, the action pose, the way the details are executed, the way the customization was done to the mobile suit. I love how not many people can do explosions well, but you did it really well here.
Every time Ryan walks out of places, he doesn't look back, and just explosions just happen.
You guys don't look at it.
Actually, I think you did a post about explosion, how you made your explosions. I think it was reshared by all the the old school, all the old school modeler as how to make an explosion. You're like, that's it. They keep sharing that. Yeah. And then that one time they actually removed your name and removed the credit, and I shared it with you. It's like, oh, I think they use your stuff.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
And
awesome.
That was I love that entry. To this day, it's one of my favorite GBWC entries that I have.
Nice.
And it's UC, go UC.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome, Nate. Thank you for that. Let's go to Xiao. Oh yeah, top 2. Yeah, sorry. What am I doing? Yeah, go ahead. Top
okay.
1, 2, 3 of them. Make sure they all feel it.
Second place and third place, I really have a hard time choosing between Simon's and Nico's, because both are like really, really cool. But if I were to make one decision based on wow factor, it would probably be Nico's in second place because of the fact that it's so well detailed and I just can't stop looking at it. Right? There's so many things that's going on, but it's just like a feast for the eyes. And the important thing is you didn't over detail it, because a lot of the entries that not entries, but a lot of the words that I see on Twitter or on Instagram, they go overboard with like pipes and everything, and wires everywhere. But this one was done in such a subtle way that it still pays homage to the design of the stock mobile suit, but yet it adds so much more extra. That's really cool to look at. And for Simon's build, the action pose, and I'm imagining this guy floating in battle, about to launch that around into a EFSF like battleship, like that scene that you see in Gundam Origin, right?
I was gonna say that it reminds me of the first episode of Gundam Origin.
Yeah, exactly. When you see Char going into battle, right? Yeah.
One last one.
Yeah. So
personally, I would have pulled a Connie on you, but it's okay.
Awesome.
But in comparison to Nico's build, but anyways, to be fair, the Zaku was done. It was the first, Canadian winner prior to the to Canada getting its own after Canada got its own GBWC. So I'm sure that like if Simon were to do a next GBWC entry, wink wink, for 2021, 2022, and it'll be like super impressive. So yeah.
It already is.
I hope so.
It already is super impressive. It is super impressive already, and it still is like whipped.
Work in progress.
Awesome. Thanks, Nate. Let's go to Xiao on this one. Your top 3 in order. Let's go. Yeah, what do you think?
Well, basically, I agree with Nate, and my ranking basically the same. The first one gonna be go with Ryan because it's the wow factor, and also it's like the most impressive one among all 3 in terms of the eye-catching stuff. And the second one, I will go for Nicolas because the eye-catching factor and all the amount of details go with it. For Simon's build, like I said before, being lucky has a price to pay because it's the first entry for the entire Canada GBWC, and Simon's build represents what the quality really should be for a competition level like this. And also, like all 3 builds represent one thing I want to say because, for example, if Simon's build represents the quality you're looking for, then Ryan's build representing the wow factor we're looking for. The Nico's build represents the weathering accurate and amount of kickback chain level we should looking for. So each of build have their own advantage, like standout point, and that is all the criteria we judge is looking for the future competitions.
Awesome! Wow, that was great, guys. Thank you so much for attending. It was kind of last minute too that we
I know.
It was such a switch because what would be interesting because it's April Fools and just keeping with the spirit. So hopefully you guys were entertained. Everybody in the chat and all the champions here. Was that surprise good for you guys? Was that all right?
I'm gonna admit that when you say like, oh, we're gonna judge, it was like, oh, judging. Okay.
Give me a little shiny.
Okay.
Before we continue, I just want to say quick 2 shout outs. Thank you for following and subbing the channel here for Solid Lelouch and as well as Galvasaur. Thank you so much for that.
I like that name.
Galvasaur? Yeah, it sounds pretty good. Galvasaur. It sounds like a Transformers name that's like Galvasaur.
Sounds like the Dinobot that got lost.
No, Galvasaur. You're like 1/3 left of the show. But yeah, feel free to rewatch it. He's on the chat right now. Again, thank you for following on Twitch. And for those of you guys that are also still watching us, shout out to Skyers, Neon Wave. We have Luis here from where's he from again? He's South America, Latin America.
Saludos.
Saludos.
Saludos, mi hermano.
There we go. Mech Dio, man, he's still here chatting with us. And Lawrence here, obviously with the question for the criteria judges. John, we have a couple of roundtable questions. I want to keep Nate and Xiao in through the discussion because I think it's going to be a fun one because it's all still GBWC.
Well,
WXXX.
It's worth to mention that actually Nate, like we mentioned earlier, was the winner of the North American GBWC. Not the Canadian one, but like the other one that wasn't really important.
Second place.
yeah. Like,
so 2015, he won when his 91. Sorry, he got second place with his just Havoc. I think. Yeah, that was.
Why don't we? Because we were talking about
you two are gonna play someday. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's it. I'm waiting for the next one, but apparently, like 2021 has been canceled. It's been announced. Actually, it's been announced during the chat. Actually,
yeah, I just saw that flag in too.
That's it.
Puerto Rico.
There we go. Nice. Simon, we were talking about your Psycho, and again, do you have that available?
Absolutely.
By any chance? Do you have
Because we had technical difficulty earlier, right? And we weren't able to show your 2018 Psycho Gundam. That was like a massive piece.
I have it.
Oh yeah. And I really wanted to get over it because it's honestly
one of the best things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
not just a Psycho.
For those of you guys
right?
watching,
the goof in there is like amazing as well.
Yeah. Well, basically,
Go on, Simon.
Well, 2017, we only had 3 months, right? So right after that, it was like, what if I have a year to do it? What could I come up with? And that's what happened.
Oh, you would have totally whooped Ryan's ass with this one, man. What the? Sorry, hey Ryan, I love you. I really do. Sorry, Simon. Go on.
Actually, bring up a really interesting thing. Like out of the whole GBWC experience, most of 99% of them are positive, except this one time because me and Ryan both enter online, right? And we waited. We kind of know that we're like back to back on at the end, but then at the end when they actually do announce the result, they basically just say, "Oh, Ryan is the winner," and that was it. So we're like, "Hey, hold on. Then who comes second? Who comes third? And where are the entries?" And we never get to see that. We even tried to communicate with the organizer, and they say that they're trying. They might be able to make it happen, and unfortunately, that never did happen. So that's when I was like kind of upset because people who enter online, they could have spent a year, 2 years on their build, and I honestly believe that their effort deserves to be seen, right? And especially, I don't know if you guys know, there is some like unwritten policy and say that Bandai don't like you to really disclose your entry too early, too soon. So just to keep that wow factor when people see it for the first time, I was like, oh, this is so we tried very hard to keep everything
concealed
for a year and a half to enter.
Jesus, like, are you guys looking at the deals on this? Is this freaking insane?
It's amazing.
Sorry, Simon.
Really, yeah, it was a pain in the butt when they eventually never actually showed those pictures, and to a point that we tried to make it clear to the year after, which is Nicolas' year, that for the online part, can you at least show the pictures?
Yeah.
And we were disappointed again on that one. So hopefully, if Bandai is hearing us, like for future GBWC, like treat the online portion as the same as the local competition, because for local competition they can be seen, people look at them, right? But for the online, because Canada is so big, not a lot of people can actually attend the local. Right, so the least you can do is to have a place where you can display all the entries, so that if you really felt like you have to enter a competition, especially after you spend a year and a half on the entry. So that's my rant for GBWC.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like Simon put so much blood, sweat, and tears, and not only Simon, because Andrew,
everybody, there's a whole bunch of
anyone who entered,
number of entries,
put so much time and effort, and there was zero recognition for that. And in the spirit of competition, and even just in the spirit of modeling in general, it does a huge injustice to the modelers, right? So I was very, very disappointed as well too that none of these were shown, right? And so
Yeah.
I want to say that I was very lucky that I got to see Simon working on this.
Yeah.
One time at Panda Howie, I think you brought it there. It was
Yeah, I remember
primed.
that.
Yeah.
You had it all primed, and I remember being like, "Oh man!"
I know, and I think like it's worth mentioning the effort and like the scope of effort into this build, right? And I mean, I don't know if you're okay with me talking about like the details of how you build it, but
John,
I mean,
you're permitted to say whatever the hell you want. That's our damn show, all right?
So the concept, okay, so you correct me if I'm wrong, but you took a PG Grandpa, merged it with a Psycho Zaku, extended the limbs, and made it a beautiful masterpiece, right? And that is
look at that butt. That's Canadian's
amazing
butt right there.
achievement.
Look at those them flaps.
Those are not flaps.
They totally are. They're
No,
well
the
toned
yellow
up.
things.
No, I'm talking about the whole thing. Anyways, John.
Yeah, so it's nice. It's the scope of effort is like out of this world.
Yeah. Well, the technical aspect was challenging, because they're trying to fit something on an HG scale, a perfect gray skeleton. So not only that, you have to extend the limb so that you have the right proportion. That's one thing when people do modification. That you often see people when they modify, they do kit bashing, they just add like on top of what's existing there. Now, but then what you end up with is something that's a lot bulkier, a lot bigger, and the proportion is off. So then when you do modification, you kind of have to restore that proportion that makes it looks good. Because the original, if you know the original PG 7 and 8, it's really stumpy because that was the design. That
proportions was weird.
And now we're also used to the Unicron proportion. So if you make something based on the old proportion, it wouldn't look nice. So you kind of have to bring it up a notch to restore it to today's standard. So that's something that these are the kind of effort that it might not be noticed. Like people might not even notice that you did it. It's the kind of thing that when you see it, it looks good, but you might not actually recognize the effort that was put in.
Like from far away, you're not gonna see the details, but like Simon, like even closer,
look at that subtle scribing. Damn.
Subtle scribing and like this, like I love these little accent details and all that stuff, but like it is a technical wise, this thing is amazing. So it's just because we're looking at it in a very zoomed in way.
The weathering is amazing too.
Yeah.
You need to do a masterclass.
Jeez.
Yeah, the Gordon Ramsay of.
Can you imagine Simon judging other people though? Awesome. Thank you for that. Like, why don't we continue then, John? We do a couple of roundtable for the rest, and then we'll bring it home.
Basically, for a few roundtables, you want to go?
Yeah. I think
so. Each of you, what do you think is your secret weapon for an amazing build into competition as big as GBWC? Personally, I mean, anyone can jump in. Nico, how do you feel? How do you feel is your secret weapon to build into? What is your hidden talent, your one true skill that makes you a special builder?
Oh man, well, I still consider myself a student, so it's not like I have a developed skill yet. In terms of, for example, GWC, I was like this past one, my first big. Like what I'm doing right now is taking that build into a next step. So I'm still learning, like using plat plate. Like on that build, I use a lot of parts from Star Wars. On the new one, I'm trying to make the gribbles myself instead of just relying on other kits. Also because that's too expensive to do. So I've been trying to learn more to create my own parts. But still, I'm still learning on that. So to say my secret weapon, if it works, what I'm doing right now, probably will be like that will be my style, trying to combine as the Star Wars look that I always loved into this. So when you see a build that I do and you see the gribbles and everything, I think, oh, that must be a Nico build.
Yeah.
And also if it's great.
Gribble matching. That's a great skill to have.
So I probably think when I master that will be my weapon thing.
Nice.
Nice.
And weathering, I guess. I like weathering. I like dirty. But like I said, I'm still learning, so I won't say that that's my weapon yet because I'm still in that process. I've been very lucky to have created those things that got me to Japan. Once I was there and looking at everything else, I was like, oh, this is just a start. It has to go beyond this way more. Because what you see are builds, that's like a line to start over there.
Nice.
They're expecting a super high level of things, and from there you build up to compete.
Nice.
Cool.
So I learned a lot. By the way, I'm very honored to be with this group of people here tonight. I have admired their work for a long time. I mean, awesome. Simon's Titan is one of the best things I ever seen. Yeah.
Where the hell is Simon? Simon, you there?
Yeah, I'm back.
Hello.
Also, speaking of, I guess a personal secret weapon, like some of the hidden, like what are some of your go-to skill set that you apply with your builds?
Oh, that's interesting. I'd say, well, like for me building model, I always look for the overall average. So I kind of like to be the jack of all trades at a high standard. So the last 2 years I've been trying to learn other stuff like brush painting and try to see if there are ways to actually bring that into my build. That actually is becoming a big thing for me right now. So typically my next entry for GBWC is actually going to be 100% hand painted. So there won't be any airbrush used. For the fact that there are things that you can only do with a brush and not airbrushing. So, and I think that's something that might be interesting and new usually for GBWC. So hopefully it works out fine.
Awesome. Love that. Who's next, John? What do we got?
I think Ryan, our man Ryan.
Let's go.
Yeah, well, it's a really interesting question. You know, I still there's still a lot of techniques I have to learn and perfect. But I think maybe one of the things that maybe I'm more anal about, I guess, is precision in craftsmanship. That's one thing that I really enjoy doing as well too. Like when I can, I like symmetry and I like kind of.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry about your precision and your craftsmanship. I want to. Do you make mistakes? Like it looks so like.
Are you ever wrong on your things, Ryan?
No, but like I notice your details in your scribing is so perfect. Do you do a lot of corrections? Like for me, I'd say 1 out of like 4 is going to be a correction. Like my scribing corrections or whatever. But yours looks so sharp and clean. It feels like it was on the first try. But honestly, I think the best skill of modeling is learning how to fix your mistake. I want to know if you like, I don't know, do you swear a lot? What basically?
First off, I don't really swear.
He's the most polite person I've ever met at your lunch.
No. So Canadian.
Second to Shao, and then second to me.
No, but I go. You know the old saying, measure twice, cut once, kind of thing. For me, it's like measure 10 times, cut once, kind of thing. And so I feel like I do make mistakes, obviously, but I do feel like a lot of times and that also doubles as possibly one of my weaknesses too, because that makes me, I don't know. I feel like, I'm sure as like many of you guys, you guys are all like perfectionists as well too, and so normally like, I try to think through something like all the possible scenarios before I go at it. So like a panel line or something. So to answer your question, I mean, I haven't really made a mistake because I pre-plan it all.
I knew it.
No, and like and what I do is like like this is only when it comes in terms of scribing and stuff like that, right? I've made a lot of mistakes in terms of designing and stuff. I've never really had to like cover up a panel line or something.
Okay,
because I've thought about it a lot leading up to it. Or I have scratched the plastic like past the panel line, but I used it so lightly that I could just sand it off, So I mean, in terms of those mistakes, like those are easy to correct, right? But so yeah, but that's a weak point too, because first of all, I think it prohibits me from trying out more adventurous things, like taking like, putty and just shaping it, or like putting it on a piece of plastic. So it limits, I think, a lot of my ability, which I'm trying to get over, like I'm trying to do a little bit more. Like Nate is the, scratch building with plot plate master here, and so I'm trying to do that more and try to do it as cleanly as I can. So I'm trying to kind of gain these different skill sets and stuff like that. So I'm still learning a lot, and I feel like, and I'm having fun. That's the bottom line, is I'm having a lot of fun kind of acquiring new skills and trying to perfect it more. But I would say probably my strong suit in the whole thing is maybe just in the detail and the craftsmanship of everything. So yeah.
I also just want to make sure that you keep posting your whips, man. I love seeing all your story and all that stuff, and that goes for everyone here. It's like whips. I think it's very, very important for not just you to keep record and look back later on, like things to improve on, but like for aspiring people like myself and again all the other fellow students in the audience and even in this show. I think it is something that I wouldn't say we take for granted, but it's something we definitely should appreciate more, because these amazing builders, these amazing artists are sharing their craftsmanship, their trades, their secrets. So thank you again, guys, for sharing. Nico, you got one thing here, then we'll switch to those two up there.
Yeah, on one note about mistakes what you were saying, for example, my build, the EC8, is actually composed of 2 EC8 kits, because I broke a lot of parts, like the head. I broke the first one I did, so I had to replace it with a second, same with an arm.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say like I don't make mistakes. I do make mistakes, right? But sometimes it's like you can kind of, just do a whole different piece.
You can avoid mistakes, I guess.
Yeah, avoid. That's a good way of saying it, right? So, yeah.
Now I want to throw the questions to our folks over here. We'll start with Nate and then Xiao. I know you guys have entered your own competitions either in the past or even at current. Same thing. Like, what would you say is something that you do uniquely as a secret weapon?
Well, for me, a secret weapon is something that I can't tell you guys because it's a secret.
That was a test. I was trying to. That was a spy move right there. But.
So
1 point, Nate. 1 point. Just give us one. Give us 1 point, man. Something.
Yeah, something is just make, especially for GUNPLA, is make interesting shapes. Okay. This is purely like subjective, depending on the modeler. But a good build is something that wows people, right? And for me, what makes a good build is something that stands out. And to do that, you need to make your build have interesting shapes, because that's what our vision, what our eye is usually drawn towards. Like details, yes, that's important too, because it sets your build. I think for me, like above all, what really draws attention is really like the shape of the mobile suit. It's very abstract term, but it's my advice is to that, is make interesting shapes.
Nice. Well, thank you for that. Secret advice, secret weapon. Xiao, what do you got, man?
I think my advantage is just like because
I'm an IPMS judge and I win every freaking contest. F all y'all. I'm kidding. Sorry, Xiao.
Well, if it turns out, speaking of IPMS, it's like the basic advantage for me is like I'm still young, okay? So I'm still able to see stuff. That's why I do all those Michael mobile suits, like 1700 scale stuff.
Yeah,
but the things I want to say here is like the knowledge beyond GUNPLA modeling is like the knowledge of all the plastic modeling, like not just GUNPLA, but also military stuff, civilian stuff, figurines, and all other stuff. When you have all the experience on other stuff, you can also take reference from one area and combine it into the GUNPLA stuff. That's what I seen from Simon's work recently. It's like he's doing all kind of stuff recently, right? Especially those figure paintings, and that's a good skill to transfer into Gundam as well.
Right. Nice.
Let me write that down.
I know. Yeah, Nico needs some pointers.
Where's my pen?
I think I found my 2017 first GBWC entry.
Oh, yeah?
I
You have your
think.
screen ready? I'll share it.
It's absolutely nightmare because it was 1 week. Oh fuck! What have I done? Why did I say that?
Demonetized.
Hey,
Yeah.
language. I'm kidding. I'm gonna do a rapid fire question. I'm gonna do a rapid fire question for you guys, and this applies to all 5 of you guests right now, and I guess John too, if he wants to answer it.
Sure.
I'm gonna give you guys 2 subjects, and you got to choose one of your preference. All right. Let's start with Ryan. In the next contest, GBWC, if there is a choice for you to enter either online or in person, online or in person.
Oh, that's a hard one, man. I've only done online.
But why? Because it was easier. But if you have the option,
just call him out.
That's true.
No. He's in Edmonton. It's really hard. The only event was in Vancouver and in Montreal. So
no, there's one at
doesn't count. It's not a real one.
If there was one in Edmonton, I would definitely want to do it in live.
Controversy. You need one more skill set to do online, eh?
Yes, photography.
Yeah.
That is very
photography true. Is I really enjoy photography as well too. So I guess one of my strong points would be I may do better online because of the photography aspect. But from an actual, after experiencing, like GBWC in Japan was actually my very first live tournament ever, and so I feel like at the same time, we always talk about like oftentimes I'm spending so much time detailing like the bottom of a piece that no one's going to see, at least not in photos, right? But in live competition, you get everything, right? So I feel like I might have a little bit of an edge in a live competition because of that, because I tend to like to detail everything, right? Whereas in pictures, you can only show certain amounts, right? And plus, I just like the, talking with people. And so I would actually like live if it was in Edmonton. If I had to travel, though, I would probably do online.
Okay. All right. Let's move that question. Let's put it up to Simon. Live or online, if you had the choice in the next one.
Me, 100% live.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay. Well, what happened is if I'm gonna do
both, huh?
If I'm gonna have to do a big build, there's no way I can capture a big build within a couple of pictures.
Yeah,
it's just not possible. Yeah. So
right.
and that we are going big nowadays. So for me, that's a no-brainer.
Nice. Nico, online or in person?
Oh, for me, totally in person. For example, on our last competition in 2019, it was fun winning, of course, but for me personally, the best memory I have of that entire trip was the night before we went the final. We all went for a drink at the restaurant that we had to put all the tables together.
Yeah.
And we had those humongous pints of beer.
Yeah, I remember that.
For me, that for me was the highlight of the whole trip. I mean, we were there drinking beer, talking about Gundam stuff. Like all of us.
That was us last Saturday, though, man.
No.
Wait.
Being able to just hang with like all of us and friends and like that was the.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And being able to just spend these 3 days talking about the hobby in such a way that is so natural. That's what I always like. Not necessarily just the GWC. Every competition that I go to, I prefer if it is in person. I hardly do online ones. Like,
nice.
But it's because of that. I like the human factor thing.
Nice. How about Nate and Shao? Let's start with Shao, and we'll go to Nate. Online or in person?
If I had a choice, I would agree with everyone here. It will be in person. Like Simon said, right? If one were to spend all the effort in building an impressive build in size, you want as many people to see it as possible, right? Even though I do love photography too, like Ryan said.
Yeah, like that tripod behind you, man. We're like, yeah, this guy likes photography. He knows what's going on.
But, yeah, I mean, it's just something about just being in a room with your fellow builders, chatting, right, and see everybody's works that you just can't get with an online entry. So yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Actually, also, wouldn't you be scared if you, for example, did like you try to hide stuff with your photos just to make it look great, and you end up winning, and then you have to show that?
Fix the actual thing. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be scary as hell?
Well,
Wait.
it's called catfishing, but no, yeah, that's an actual good point.
Like somebody had done that before. Like of everybody who entered online, then there has to be like maybe one or two guys that got caught off guard or something. Who knows?
Like, oh no!
All right, let's go to Xiao. Last question on this one, online or in person, man?
Yeah, for me, it's definitely go for person because I can walk around the shows and laughing at everybody else's mistakes.
Savage AF, love it. John, let's get
the things about that is you also expose your mistake to others, and then you keep in mind like what mistake you did not make next time.
Exactly.
Can I share something about Xiao here? So the last time I spoke with Xiao about my actual build, because I wasn't there for the competition in 2019. The last time we actually spoke about my build was 2018, which is this guy here, the wing.
That's the fourth time he has shown it.
Yeah, right. So Xiao goes to me. I go after the show. It's like, Xiao, like, what do you think of this build? Man, this guy's savage AF. He's like,
yeah, you don't ask that question unless you're unless you know.
I know the answer. I know the answer to it. I actually know the answer to it. Go ahead.
He goes to me, I like your EXS better. And I'm like,
you did better last year.
You did better last year. Oh my god. I love how yeah, go on.
You forgot that he said, but your base was top notch.
Oh man, thank you guys for that online in person question. But let's do two more topics and then we'll call it. What do you think, John?
Absolutely. Let's go see what else do we have as a.
It was a nice build, Ariel. Was good.
Yeah, because of the base. Duh. I think we should like, how about these ones? Like ask like things that would help people improve when they're doing stuff. This one right here would be, I think, good.
What?
Oh yeah, so basically to help a lot of the crowd, right? Because one of the biggest factor in everything is a lot of time, right? How do you manage your time leading to it? Like, because okay, in 2017 we didn't know, right? But now, well, not anymore. Sorry about that. But now it's yearly, and knowing that it's yearly, you have enough time to prep for it. But how do you manage your time according to the build that you want to build for this competition?
Let's start with Simon.
Sorry.
Sure. Time management, I honestly have none. Like, first time I entered, that was 3 months, and then the cycle took me 1.5 years, and now this guy's almost getting to the 2 years point already. So I basically just try to do as much as I can, regardless how long it's going to take. And to be honest, if you look at the GBWC entries in the last couple of years, there is like a lot of the top tiers build took multiple years. So if you really force yourself to actually do a build per year, that actually might be a little bit tough, unless you can do it full time, I guess. Yeah, unlike David, who can build like crazy build every year, I don't think most of us actually have to work and all that. We'll be able to enter competition annually and have a chance to place in a level. So I would rather go for quality. So I would just build it until I'm happy with it, then I'll enter to a competition. So that's my take.
Nice.
Awesome. Thank you. Why don't we go to Ryan next? Time management.
Yeah, it's tricky because I think one really important thing is your concept, your initial concept. I mean, of course, things can change along the way, kind of thing. But kind of doing your research and the concept leading up to it can take a lot of time often. So I don't know, like Simon's right. Like nowadays, there's a lot of guys who are putting in multiple years for their build. I think in my year, someone took 7 years to build their entry.
Jesus,
And
7 years.
Yeah, and it was amazing though, because it was the unicorn with the 4 binders. I don't know if you guys saw that. And he did tons of scratch building. So I mean, it's hard to put a finger on it because everyone builds at a different pace as well too. And so, for example, like I'm a very, very slow builder, and so it's really hard for me to say for the average builder. But I would say I would allot easily at least half a year. You know, if you're planning on adding a lot of different components to it and everything. But this is of course like for a competition build, right? Of course, you can enter a piece that you just love and that you've worked hard on into the competition. Like it doesn't, you know. But I would say for if you're very, very serious, you really want to, you know, have a go at it. I would at very minimum like at least 6 months, because like it does take a lot of time to kind of come up with your idea, your concept first, and then to execute it takes a whole lot of time too. Yeah. And of course, sometimes you may have to redo things. Like Simon had to like melted the head and had to rebuild it. So there's a lot of unexpected things, and so you always want to allow time for that, you know, in case that happens. So yeah, that would be kind of maybe my answer.
Awesome. No, thank you for that. Lastly, Nicolas.
All what you guys said is true. Even when I was in Japan, I also saw other builders that their projects took like 2 years or 3 years to make. But personally, for what I learned on my build, I knew if you want to do something great, it's gonna take time. I thought on my end that I will give myself 6 months. I managed to use the 6 months, but it was a little stressful. So in terms of time management, what I'm doing right now on my new one is I already know that I'm not going to compete on the next GWC because I'm not going to put myself in that place of a deadline that will start to stress me out. I'm going to do something that is going to take at least 2 years to make, maybe. And not only because it's not necessarily because of all the amount of work that I'm be doing to it, is that I'm going to go in a pace that I won't stress myself out. Like I will work on, for example, 1 hour a day, or on the build, so I don't even burn out. Give myself a period to rest and do something else, and then go back to it. So you gotta consider all those things when you are preparing yourself. If you are competing really serious and doing a serious piece to compete, all those factors. Nice. And yeah, minimum 6 months, maybe, and a year. I also saw somebody there that it took like 4 years to make something. It takes, and now that I'm doing the one that I'm doing right now, it can't take that long to build something. It can. But like I said, it's not because you are spending 24 hours a day working on it. No. Like I said, you could work one day 30 minutes, the next day 45 minutes. You skip a day, you do have a weekend, go back to it. But that's the pace. Yeah. And that's what it takes to make it good.
Nice. All right. Thank you for that. I didn't mean to say lastly. Let's get like 1 point each, I guess, from Nate and Xiao. Because like, I love that we have our championship, but like also we have like from people's perspective, the judging side, like, you know, with people and the time management. Like, what can you guys say about time management for people that are entering for competitions in the future? Let's start with Xiao on this one.
Okay, so from my experience, like my suggestion is people should consider themselves: do they have to go to the competition, or do they ready to go to competitions? So what I mean is, don't set the deadline of I have to go to this competition this year. That means you always F up. It's like from my experience, like many people just rush to the competition and they're always showing a lot of mistakes. And that's not good. So my suggestion is, when you're ready and once your build is ready to go, no matter how long it takes, just when you're ready, then you go. Yeah, that's my suggestion.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you for that. Nate?
I would say it's not a question of time management, but rather a question of motivation. Because what really kills a project is ultimately a builder losing motivation to continue, and that's it. The project is dead, right? Not so much time. It's more But the advice I want to give to people is that if you're participating in the competition, make sure that the entry that you want to build is actually a mecha. In the case of GBWC, as a mecha that you yourself want to own, because ultimately at the end of the competition, that model is coming home with you. It's your model, right?
Yeah.
So for you to actually like go through years or months of building, it has to be a project that you want to build to begin with, right? So don't build to appease the judges, and then don't start thinking about, oh, what are they looking for? Well, how can I add this to make sure that mine is don't do that. Just make sure that it's a model that you want to have on your display shelf, and think about like how you imagine this model to be in your head, and like what makes this a cool model for you, and go from there. And the most important thing for me is just to maintain that motivation to continue the project. So yeah.
That's good. That's a good point. Love it.
Amazing.
Thank you for that. All right, John, I think we got one more topic left.
Sure. Absolutely. I think we should maybe look into the future. What is happening in the future events, right? We're currently facing a pandemic. GBWC 2020 has been canceled. GBWC 2021 has been canceled today. I mean,
I didn't know that got canceled, officially canceled this today.
Officially, like an hour ago.
Yeah,
like during the show.
I just saw it during the show. We should have flashed it. I should have had it open because I had the feed up.
Yeah. So what that means is that basically we've had a few years, right? And what to expect? Do we expect more quality build, right? Because people have more time. Do we have more entries? Do we have more people entering? Pandemic means more people joining the hobby and stuff like that. So what can we see in the future of GBWC, right? What do we expect? And it's a vague question, but how do we expect the future of GBWC happening with the life that we have right now during a pandemic?
What's the future norm? I guess. Like, yeah, no, that's a good point.
Yeah. So are we going to go with Ryan on this, right? What's your point of view?
Before I get into that, I'm curious too. Like, you know how there's like junior builders and stuff? Like they're going to be in 2020, they like honored it where they're like, oh, if you're going to be like under the certain age, you'll still. I wonder how that's going to work out, but I don't know. Anyways.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that because they would be like legal then.
The 2021, right? And they'll be like entering.
Yeah, and they're in that weird lull where it's still not over 21, so they can't compete in the category.
Well, technically, they could just still enter the real one.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Also, believe me,
they're eventually have to do it. Right?
One thing that I saw, even that junior one, that's a real one, man. Because the things that I saw made by those people,
oh, there's so much talent, right? And like it's crazy.
And they got a big trophy each too.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people think that it's April's Fool's, the cancellation, but the fact is, I think Australia was supposed to already have happened, and that hasn't been even announced. So odds are, like, it's kind of, it sounds really legit. So
it was going that way, I think, because of the new strain of the virus and
all the new lockdowns. Still, like we're not.
Yeah, but I mean, online has been set up, right? Online has already been like it was already a thing. We could have all joined online and just switch everything, but. Because the incentive was always been going to Japan. If that incentive is gone, like it's weird.
They have been running the GB40 in a couple of the countries already. So most likely that's where we're going to head in the next few years.
Yeah,
it's going to be like
I won't be doing online anymore.
Yeah,
we're forced to do online.
Yeah, that's that might be
if we can even participate, because G40 was only for Asian countries, not even for North American, right? Yeah, I mean. Sorry, what was the question again?
Basically, what is the future of GBWC with the current pandemic?
Right.
I guess post as well. I meant post-pandemic.
Post-pandemic, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's still, I'm trying to be very optimistic in the midst of this pandemic, right? But I honestly feel like it's going to be still a while until people can travel or without restrictions, right? And so, I totally saw 2021 being canceled. But in the future, I mean, they might just make it as an online thing, right? Like what we just touched on, But yeah, I don't know. Like, in terms of, the biggest question people always will have is, oh man, people have had 2 extra years to build their entry.
Yeah.
Are the entries going to be that much more amazing? That's honestly a really difficult question to answer. I personally don't really feel so like it's gonna be, you know, like I don't think someone's gonna build an entry with like 50 different suits kind of thing, right? Unless they win. But I feel like as builders, like for example, for myself, I started working on my entry little by little in 2019, right? I definitely didn't get it done for 2019, so I didn't compete in 2019. And also a couple of us in our 2018 group, we were all shooting for 2020. We were all like, let's take this 2 years to build our entry and let's see who of us can meet together in 2020, right? So all of us were working really hard, and that was kind of our, you know, like what we wanted to do, right? But clearly 2020 was canceled too. So for me personally, right, like since then I've worked on a lot of other, well, not a lot, sorry, like maybe 2 projects. I'm very not prolific, but like I've worked on other projects that I know for sure are not competition builds, right? But just builds I just love to do and I want to do. And so I've been having so much fun with that. So I feel like with a lot of other modelers, like even Simon, like he's been, you know, doing amazing like figure painting and stuff like that, right? Like clearly he's not going to be entering in GBWC. I feel like with a lot of modelers, right, they'll do other models, right, but they might not work the entire 2-3 years on a single entry for GBWC, right?
Yeah.
So I'm generalizing, right? Like of course, you know, everyone's different, but I feel like in terms of the quality, I mean, yeah, maybe there's gonna be more people in the hobby, right? So I'm assuming we're gonna see more maybe different things, right? Like it's been really popular, people painting murals on Gundam armor and stuff like that, or maybe something completely different, right? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm really curious. I really don't know. I'm not, you know, I can't tell the future obviously, but I in general, I don't think the builds will be that much more amazing. They're already pretty amazing, you know, from
exactly.
So I don't think they're going to be that much more amazing than what we've been seeing in the past.
Because I don't think it has been a time issue. I think it's always been like a
motivation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I agree with that. Well, typically, if you're going to create a competition build, you have an idea, you have a concept already in mind. You already know how you want it to end up looking like, right?
Exactly.
So if you're going to have your time and finish it, that's exactly how I wanted it. Giving me another year is not going to make it any better.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
So I don't think the quality is going to go up that much, but maybe quantity.
Yeah.
Yep.
More people having time to finish. Also, like the
more competitors.
Yeah. Exactly.
Also, there's another thing that you have to take in consideration is that it's a pandemic and there's pandemic consequences. So not necessarily means that, okay, I get to stay home so I can build more models. No, there's also, oh man, I have to stay home. I lost my job. I can't get out. I have my mental state is going crazy because I'm not communicating with people. Mental health has increased. The issues with mental have increased with this pandemic. So all those things go into consideration. So in terms of like people, there will be more amazing. There will be people who took this opportunity and they developed their skills greater. It's absolutely.
Yeah, I know one guy who did a freaking live stream show and it's like doing this since the whole pandemic because like he had nothing else to do. It's the craziest thing.
Yeah, I heard he's a stray builder. But is the thing that you have to consider that there's social changes that are also happening with this. Sadly, I lost my job as well, so I've been spending a lot of time, but that necessarily means that I have been building crazy.
Fair assumption.
Nice, yeah. Not nice. Sorry, I mean.
No, I know what you mean.
I mean, nice, like reflection on the subject.
Yeah, that's true.
I hope you can find something, Nico. It's a hard time for a lot of people.
It happens. It's like that's I prepare for that. But like I'm saying, there's all those other little things that we need to keep in mind.
That's a good point.
Not just because it means that you are staying home. Okay, I get to build. No, there's these other things. Right. If you were a person that was extremely social, you're changing to not being social at all. So,
that's true.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So we have to work with this.
So we got touch base from Ryan. We got a little bit from Simon and Nico. I'm curious about Nate and Xiao here. Like, what do you guys think of post-pandemic GBWC? Do you think it's still going to happen? What do you think the quality of builds are going to be like?
Should I go first or somebody?
Yeah, go. You know what? Rochambeau for it, man. I don't care at this. Okay. Let's go, Nate. Pick it up, man.
I think it will continue to some degree because marketing-wise, like they put a lot of money every year into it. And it's like an event that really draws a lot of attention towards Bandai as a brand. So, you know, if I were in their marketing thing, I would continue that competition for sure in some way. I was surprised that they didn't go with like a pure online format for 2021. Because I mean, it's easy to do nowadays. You just have to set up a website database for people to submit pictures. Right?
I think they had hope. They still had hope that it would happen.
Maybe
the Olympics.
we don't know. Maybe like the physical one got canceled, but we're just gonna get another kind of contest. Because you remember, like they had like a Star Wars model building contest on Twitter where you just put hashtags.
Yeah.
And Bandai chooses via the hashtags who wins, but seems to be something that's more doable. Who knows? But post pandemic, yeah, I mean we can't travel for like a while, right? It's gonna be a while before we're completely out of this. But I do expect system where you have like actually like what we have now, you have online and in person. But yeah, it really depends on how Bandai does it. But in terms of like build expectation, I can say that like during this pandemic, I follow a lot of like modelers on Twitter that are from Japan and Asia in general. I haven't seen anything that's like wow, you know, I've seen like beautiful models and beautiful kit bashes and customs, but nothing really like concept wise that made me go like holy shit, that's the next big thing. So I think
the great ones are already here in the guests. That's why they're all Canadian. No.
So I mean, like in terms of like model making, it'll just always be like GUNPLA building is still GUNPLA building, and I think it'll just be like what we had before, right? And maybe we'll get more people. You know, maybe the people who are joining the hobby now are gonna invest into building something a little bit more custom, a little bit more serious. I would love to see that. But my question is like how many people who got into GUNPLA during the pandemic is going to keep building after the pandemic, right? Maybe they just got it for shits and giggles, but then later on they're like, fuck it, I'll do something else. You never know. So it's really up in the air. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, good points. Good points there, Nate. And lastly, Xiao, future GBWC predictions, or like, you know, what do you think is going to happen in the next while once we start renormalizing?
First of all, I don't think we can travel for a while. So online, probably that's the way to go. Which means we need to learn somehow to photograph our stuff.
Yes.
And also learn how to pose it, and which is make the wow factor more stand out. Which
Photoshop seam line remover.
Yes, like we need to impress
Heal tool. Heal.
And also
no more cement.
For my perspective,
okay, guys, let's get show on this.
GBWS may be a not good thing because some people definitely lose their motivations because the competition is, if competition is there, that means something definitely pushing people to do their works.
Yeah.
Right now, competition is gone. That means people somehow is kind of lost their motivations. For example, since when was the last time Nate post something of his build?
Yeah. Well, when was that? It was like months ago.
Like
it looked beautiful
started from something else by something else.
Yeah.
So it's like and also for the style wise, for example, like I think 2018, someone from Taiwan he painted the figure on the Gundam, right, on the Zaku. So that creates a gap. And also there's other thread during different periods, but right now I don't see any new thread coming out yet. So I don't think pandemic affect that thread by far, but we will see. Maybe they will have new creation, new styles, but by far I don't see any.
Nice. Awesome. No, all good points, guys. Thank you so much
Amazing.
for your input. That's it for the questions. We're gonna do a quick commercial, kind of like just saying thank you to our patrons and all that, our partners, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna get some final words from our guest, guys. So stay tuned on this. I just want to say, first off, guys, if you guys are looking for model kits, materials, tools, and everything else in between, check out msmnstudio.com. Follow them on their Facebook and on Instagram at /MSMNstudio.
They currently have a sale. I think is EST 2021, and you get 10% off.
Oh, there we go. Nice plug. Nice plug.
Yes, for Easter sale.
For Easter sales coming up. Also, guys, if you are in the States or also looking for model kits, materials and tools, check out USA Gundam Store. This show is also powered by them, and you can save with my discount code AOMECHA10. Also, do something quick shout out to one of the coolest Facebook groups out there, Side 6. Shout out to them, facebook.com/groups/side6. And lastly, big announcement for me, AO Mecha Live Season 3 officially will be starting back this April 5th, coming Monday with the Backlog Builder episode. And hope to catch you guys there back in streaming. It's going to be something different.
Quick question, that girl filter you have, can you make it into video?
You would like that, wouldn't you, Playboy?
I mean, OnlyFans is one click away.
Oh,
so.
I hear dark wave vibes.
I like Jonathan's girl picture more.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, I'd swipe right on that. John, you should have posted that, man.
Is it? I need to
You
find
know
it
what?
again.
Yours.
You know what? Me and Ariel, I was with Ariel last week and I tried it, but the thing is, it came out with this.
Oh, no. Oh, I found
So
it.
something really weird came out of that.
Oh my god, it was like a middle. It's like a Middle Eastern girl. Oh shoot!
Something, I don't know. It was something really
And
wrong.
look, everything was hot from above.
But this didn't go away. You can hide this. It was wrong. It was totally wrong.
Do you have yours, Sean? Do you have yours? Can I see?
Oh
it?
yeah. Do you want me to share?
Yeah.
Oh
Sure.
no, we shouldn't.
We're gonna do
that.
a quick side comparison.
Do it.
Size comparison. What does that mean?
Side, not size.
Oh.
Side by side.
Is it?
Oh.
Can we zoom? But yeah, that's it. That's me.
Oh no.
My twin sister.
Oh my god! All right. So my turn would be her.
Oh no.
I have
Yeah.
a ton of comments with this. Again, this is just for April Fools. I do not mean to trigger anybody by that. I know some people were confused. I guess just wasn't aware of the concept of April Fools. I had a lot of weird DMs. I don't want to share that because
Show me your bobs.
Hey, hi girl. Oh, the best one is I think you're pretty. When can I take you out? It's not even asking what I do.
I'm gonna take care of you. I will take care of you.
Oh my god.
It's also enlightening about the how creepy man can be.
It is.
It's very enlightening, and you're like, whoa,
I actually want my
We
do
suck.
special about it because
I wouldn't do that. Not we, but
not to go sideways, guys. Thank you so much.
Okay,
for an amazing show. Another.
Wait. I want to ask you guys something, and I want to share my screen for it. This is my favorite on my trip to Japan. This is one of my favorite moments.
Nope, that's not it. This one. There we go.
This was one of my awesome moments for me there. What was yours?
Oh, they changed the floor? That's crazy.
No, I think they first had the floor, right?
Look at the size of that leg. Look at that. It's gigantic. That statue is enormous. When I saw it, I was like, seriously. It's like, if you think maybe it's not that big. Oh, it is big. It is gigantic. And you will be like this. So that was a great moment for me there. What was yours when you guys went to Japan?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, one more, I guess, question. That's from Nico. Do you guys have something that you could share from your trip there?
Let me see if I can find mine. Just wait, okay?
I saw you two guys. When you guys went after the competition, you saw the Bandai store, so you took pictures like this. When you saw the Bandai and the Tamiya offices, so I know that was.
We gotta make it quick, guys. We'll do 5 minutes max on this one.
Okay, you can share my screen.
Okay, Ryan's up first. Oh, the builders. This one is a good one.
My favorite.
I was in that same spot.
Yeah, I was the night after, and the night of the competition, and we just all stayed up until like 1 or 2 in the morning just talking, and it was so cool just chatting and getting to know each other. And so yeah, this is our photo just at the end.
That's the same hotel I was at. The same.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you guys did you get like kits from Tamaguchi at the end?
Yeah, yeah. We all had $100 to spend on any kit we wanted.
Oh, so. Did you guys do a swap? We did a swap at the end after the hotel. We were like, because we were trying to downsize our cargo.
Oh.
So we started like trading kits at the lobby. Like, okay, I have this. Who wants this? I need something smaller.
Yeah. So
because we got a whole bunch of free kits from Tamaguchi. We got a whole bunch.
We got to choose whatever kids wanted. So, but yeah, how about Simon?
Yeah.
Do I have Simon's on deck here?
No, I don't have any picture ready for that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well,
nice.
Something
nice.
interesting.
Right.
I actually didn't make the group photo from Bandai. You know how you guys, all the contestants took a group photo?
Yeah.
I missed that one. I wasn't in the picture.
What? Oh, no. What happened?
Well, you know what a great moment was? I was next to the guy who won.
Nice.
I think this one is the great moment. I don't care what anybody says, man. This one right here, straight up, Canadian flag. That. This one is my favorite moment for us. When I saw that flag on GBWC, we were watching it live. Team also was here at my place when we were watching it when they were doing the announcements for it. We were like, we saw your name on the screen, and we're just like, fuck yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
right there.
That was nice.
I tried to do this. I tried to do the site 6 when I was announced when we were at the competition, but because the camera was backwards, I ended up doing like.
Oh no! Yes. You guys have a gang sign now.
So it looked like I was doing a gang sign. But what I was trying to do when I was saying hello, it was a shout to site 6.
Nice,
right.
Nice.
Okay, we're gonna do quick outros here. Sorry, Nate. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us tonight and judging as well. For those guys who might want to check you out, where can they find you?
Thank you.
You can find me on, I think it flashes on screen there, at NATO Build, NEITOBUILDS. Yeah, on Facebook and Instagram. You can find me with that handle.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Xiao, again, thank you for coming in and hanging out with us tonight and doing our judging session. This is really great. And for those guys who want to find you, where can they check you out?
You can find me on Facebook, which is under my name, Xiao Yang, and also find my Instagram. You can see on the screen, Emperor Yang Xiao, and also my Twitter, same name as well, Emperor Yang Xiao.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And now for our winners. We're going to go by year on this one. Simon, very much thank you for again representing Canada. Was the first OGs and coming into the show. Quick question: can you give one advice to our audience to keep in mind when they're building on their project?
Okay, let me show you this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I need that. That's something I need.
Must have. And for people who want to check out your work and all that stuff, where can they find you, man?
I'm on Facebook. You probably can find me under Simon Lamb, and then IG and Twitter would be under Chessy Monkey, CHESSY Monkey. All right.
Nice, awesome. Thank you for that. Second up here, we got Ryan Lau, 2018. Ryan, thank you so much for attending. We've been trying to work in your schedule because like we wanted you to be in the show for quite some time, and he's like, "Nah, those guys sucks. I don't want to talk to those guys." But after the 10th episode, he goes, "Well, they're still around. I guess. I guess I'll do a show." Thank you for coming in. Also, same question to Simon. One advice for our future builders, current builders, for them to take away from the show.
I think just have fun with your build, and just so important to choose something that you love the design of and that you're passionate about. And it's okay to make mistakes, and you learn from that. And honestly, when you're building something and working something that you love the design of, it just makes the flow much easier and more enjoyable. So yeah, have fun. And it's a hobby at the end of the day. So don't take it too seriously.
That's it. And where can they find you, Ryan?
You can find me on Instagram at gunpla_enthusiast. That's where I post all my work, and yeah.
Awesome. Guys, check them out. And lastly, 2019 placeholder champion, current placeholder champion.
I'm a placeholder.
Nicolas Tejada Sánchez, thank you for coming in tonight and hanging out with us. Always a pleasure having you in the show, and you're sharing your experiences and thoughts on this one. Again, same question as our previous champions. A piece of advice for our audience tonight.
Well, before I said that it was awesome to have you two here. It was a very nice surprise.
Yeah, me and John are always happy. Always happy.
You guys are placeholders.
Beautiful.
You guys are just placeholders.
And where can they find you, Nico? Oh wait, no, you didn't give advice yet. You can give advice, and then where they can find you.
Same thing that you guys said, but also if don't let cyberbullying bring you down.
Like Ariel.
Like I said.
Yeah, that's it.
Like go on your own pace, learn, enjoy the hobby, because it's a great hobby to enjoy. But don't let people who criticize in a bad manner bring you down. Like, never. Bullying sucks. I'm super against that. So don't let bullying bring you down.
That's right. Now know your role, Nico. So where can they find you?
You can find me on Facebook. I have a page. If you tap my name, Nicolas Tejada Sánchez, you will find it easy. And also on Instagram on Nico Tejada 78. But if you follow the group, for example, Site 6 or GUNPLA Network, you will see my posts there, because I do them a lot there.
That's it.
Good.
Awesome.
Amazing.
All right, John, why don't we send us out, man?
Great. Yeah, it was a great show talking about like GBWC, one of the world's biggest event. I think we have like the first-hand experience on all of you, and I think that was a great show. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you guys. And everybody that's watching, thank you so much. Everybody have a good night. Until next time and all that fun. Next week we have a new episode, so stay tuned for that one.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thank you, everybody.
Say bye to everybody, guys.
See you guys.
Bye.
Woo!
Nice.
What a show! Yeah! Woo! Post show credit and woo!
Damn.
Clapping!
We're still live, right?
Yeah, we're
Still live. We're still live.
We're still live, which is the fun part.
Yeah, which is the fun part. Now we can talk about Nico.